Oh, I didn't notice you there. My shirt was undone. Welcome to 2022.
Oh, Dios mío, muy caliente.
Oh, so hot. Welcome to Respawn Aim Fire, the kick-ass irreverent gaming podcast from Affable Idiots. I'm one of your hosts, sexy as fuck Adam. And today I have with me Chad Dino Spumoni.
Oh, Dino Spumoni, baby. It's so hot, I'm going to have to loosen my tie. My microphone's blocking it so people can't see it. Oh, God, I'm going to loosen my tie. It's so hot.
Hot
I'm going
and
to
sticky.
unbutton the top button of my suit coat. Waistcoat is what they used to call this thing. Whew.
Yeah, waistcoat. It's getting nice and steamy in here. Welcome to episode 239 on January 2nd, 2022. We're here in a new year. Look at that. Catch us on twitch.tv/AffableIdiots. Sunday evenings around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. YouTube and podcast services. Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We're here. It's a new year. Get used to it.
DF and Smitty's in the chat right now. Says Spumoni.
What up? He knows what's up. Upcoming on today's show, Game of the Year, baby. That's what we're talking about. I mean, it's the beginning of the year. We're going to talk about last year. GOTY,
here's what I want us to
greatest
do.
of all time.
I've decided this right now. We've... No, we can't. It's going to be horrible for the podcast. I wanted us to do our best impressions of goats screaming at every single entry in our GOTYs. But no, we can't do that. It's going to be awful.
That's going to be rough. That's going to be rough for my voice. Yeah, everything Game of the Year is going to be big, heavy Game of the Year. Big old heavy, like Dino Spumoni. A classic N64 shooter is being revived. Good news for Dark Souls dweebs. Speaking of dweebs, we're talking about all the analytics of 2021 because I love numbers. But we'll go ahead and start with our main quest. Game of the Year 2021. Hiya! Jackie! So, we're going to start this out. Chad, you walk us through how exactly you want to do Game of the Year. I have all my list prepared, but you go ahead and talk to the folks how we're doing
Let's
this.
start at the bottom, and now we'll come here. So we're start from the bottom, and then we'll get to here.
No, the whole team's here.
Yeah. So let's start with number 5. So we'll go back and forth. 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1.
Oh, you have 5. I have 21 games in my... I'm kidding.
Okay, so let's do then just reverse alphabetical order, and I'll go get a snack while you talk about...
Okay.
Yeah, start with 5, and then we can do... Afterwards, we can talk, like, honorable mentions. I don't have honorable mentions, but I have, like, regrets. And so I can go through my list of regrets. If you have, your whole 21, we can talk about that too.
Real quick though, we'll talk about our regrets. When I started making my list, again, I had a big list. I'm like, these are games that are potential. Here's the categories I have them in, because on ECG, we're going to do other categories and stuff. But there are 2 games that were like, this is definitely going to be on something. And they got cut from every single potential list, including the Game of the Year list, which we're going to talk about. And I was like, I was not shocked. I was shocked because I put them on there. I'm like, they're definitely going to make something. And I was like, you're out. Sorry, bud. So we'll get to it.
Just like in the Ken Griffey Jr. Super Nintendo game, you're out. That was the sound effect.
You're out. That's what it sounded like on NES. Go ahead. Number 5.
Okay, I'm going to preface this by saying one thing. For Respawn Aim Fire, we don't do, or traditionally haven't done, and we're not doing this year at least, we don't do a Respawn Aim Fire Game of the Year. And I did 17 air quotes while I said that in case you're just listening. We don't do that because we play different things. Stop it. I can't do this if you're just going to keep opening your shirt. We'll do our individual, hey, these are my top 5 of the year. Adam has his top 5 of the year. And if you want to make up one from that as a listener, you say, oh, I'm going to decide you all liked this game. Fine, do it. Just don't tell anybody because it's going to start a war. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to go one by one. I'm going to start with my number 5. Number 5 game of the year for me this year. It's a little indie game on Nintendo Switch from Nintendo. And it's the opposite of indie. It's Metroid Dread. It is, for me, we gushed about this in the review with Holden and Trevor, but it is the ultimate Metroid game. It has all the best parts of every single Metroid game. that's come out over the last however many decades Metroid's been around. It is the sequel people have been waiting for 16 years. And it's all of that in just one really perfect, wonderful package. And it's also the most accessible place to start in the series. If you're like, I've never played a 2D Metroid game. And I don't know where you are from that you sound like that, but you probably have access to a Nintendo Switch. And this is a great place to start. And I might even argue that this is the only one you need to play. If you've never played a 2D Metroid, like this is the best of them. It has all the best pieces of all of them. They've all got the similar like missile launchers and all this kind of stuff, all the same upgrades. So like this is the ultimate Metroid game. It has True Fear in it with the Emmy bots, and I think it's awesome. So that's number 5 on my list for Game of the Year.
I have one simple question.
Yeah, go.
I have a simple question as well as a symbol question.
Ooh.
What is the 2 lines with the line through it? That's an A. Anyways, a simple question. For how much? I was talking about symbols. Come on, dude. You got it. Get there. For how much you guys like the game and listening to RAF reviews about it, everyone check out RAF reviews on Metroid Dread. How is it only number 5? I would have swore that it'd been like top 3 for you.
There were a lot of really good games this year, Adam. A lot of really good games.
True. My list says the same thing. It's like, oh boy, got to cut that guy out. He was good.
Yep.
So, all right, number 5 though. That's good. That's still, it got on the list, right?
It did. It got on the list. And I'm going to be honest with you. There were about 5 games total. Like I made my list of 5 and I was like, I don't know what else is even in consideration for Game of the Year. There are plenty of things that probably could have been, but we'll talk about that in regrets. But yeah, number 5, Metroid Dread. What you got?
Understandable. Yeah, go look at my doodles for other ideas. So my number 5 at the bottom of the list, but they made the list, is Psychonauts 2.
Oh,
this was
nice.
Another game we had a RAF reviews on. I liked it a lot. But this was the one where I joke about having 21 games in my top 5. But it was like, when I was cutting down to that last, honestly, like the last 2 spots, it's like there's 2 spots available and I still have 7 games left. And I was just like whittling down, going here, going there. And there's things about this game, specifically, I love that each mind is like a different art direction and like a game style kind of a thing, which I really enjoyed. I enjoyed all the acting and the story. Like gameplay, I think is fine. I think that's the weakest part of the game. Like it feels like a early 2000s platformer, but very polished, and like that's cool. That's fine. But for everything it does right, again, story, narrative, actors, and having this weird fucking Tim Burton-esque story, but like cartoony and wild. I was like, yeah, I think this will barely beat out the other things that would have come in at number 5 or 6 or whatever. So I think it's a fantastic game. I think everyone should play it. But yeah, it was that one was like, I don't know which of these 17 games are going to be in this number 5 spot. And Psychonauts 2 just edged them out just a little bit. So here we are, them number 5.
Nice. And as you were talking, I was like, I remember when everyone was like, oh yeah, Psychonauts 2 is probably going to be Game of the Year. And then, like you mentioned, that's every single game that came out this year. Oh man, this is going to be Game of the Year. Oh man, this is Game of the Year. All right.
So there we go. Number 5 for me.
Number 4 for me. This one was one that honestly I kept forgetting came out. But every time I remembered it, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I had a great time with that game. I loved it a lot. And it's Resident Evil Village. Not Resident Evil 8. That does not exist as a game. This is Resident Evil Village. It was a brand new direction, kind of a brand new direction with that open world kind of concept for Resident Evil, but it's still like at its heart Resident Evil, which is fun. It was they had, like Psychonauts, they had different worlds, like every single part that you were in. There was the castle, there was like the caves, there was all of these different environments. Makes exploring super fun and super scary. There was the fucking dollhouse. I love that every single area of this thing had different gameplay mechanics to it too. And so you were never quite doing the same type of thing. Like the controls and the objectives were pretty much the same, but the way that you did it was very different for each world. So they made it feel really cool and fresh and new. And somehow they all really seamlessly blended together. So I really, really enjoyed Resident Evil Village. I can't wait to go back and play it again. Maybe with some... They had some like adaptive trigger stuff, but like something fresh. I want like a next gen or some DLC or something like that to give me a reason to go back and play through that again on some kind of mad speed run or infinite magnum ammo or something like that. It was fun, funny, wacky, scary, Papa John's, difficult at times. I liked it a lot. Resident Evil Village.
Awesome. What I will say, which is I think is really cool, looking at most games that are on people's Game of the Year list, no spoilers or anything, but like It Takes Two winning at the Game Awards, and then you bringing up in Psychonauts how every world's different. You bringing out how Resident Evil, like if you take a game and you do different things, people like that. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe games should do that more often. It seems really cool. And also, fuck that baby. Just that slurping noise. That baby. I'm not a fan. I don't like his noises at all. Not a fan.
You know what though? I feel like fuck that baby. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I got the baby spoiled for me because everybody was like, oh, there's this one thing coming in a level. Oh, I can't wait till you see this big giant thing. And it's so scary and so fucked up. Oh, I can't wait till you reach this thing. And then whenever I got there, it's like, oh, this was probably the thing they were talking about. And now, like, I was already prepped for it. And I didn't know it was going to be that
still
baby.
Gross. It was gross. It's just the noises.
Yeah. Ugh. The slimy, slithery snail trail on the ground.
Ugh. Anyways. Speaking of number 4, my number 4 on Adam's list is Deathloop.
Deathloop
from the guys who made Dishonored. Arcane. Here we go. I remembered. Deathloop was a game that a game was coming out. And again, everyone made fun of. We saw so much marketing for that game. At every PlayStation thing, they're like, here's 20 more minutes of Deathloop.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, here we go, guys. And then Deathloop came out, and I didn't do anything but play Deathloop until I beat it for like the next 5 days straight. That's all I wanted to do. And that is all. This was what like got this onto the list, because I was going through my list and like, what are the games that I just could not put down and not stop playing that probably deserves like an extra merit? And Deathloop was that. Like, I just wanted to go through that nonstop. I love the way that they handled their time loop mechanic. There's a lot of time loops this year. I think Deathloop has the second best time loop mechanic of the year. Just, whatever. That's just a random thing I'm throwing out there. And I love the characters. The game. I just like Arcane's games. And they're like, hey, why don't we just do Dishonored, but make it popular? And more people are going to like it because it's not this weird steampunk thing. I think it was great. I loved it. The performances were great. Powers are super cool. You can play the game all kinds. There's a lot of depth if you want to go into it, or it's just like, hey, let me figure out this time puzzle and go kill all these people in a run. And I think it plays really good, and I just enjoyed it a lot. So Deathloop should not be slept on. Very good. I hope you finally get to play it at some point. Even though I know you're not super big Arcane guy, but I think it's a good enough game you'll enjoy it.
Spoilers for later. That's it's on my regrets list of things I didn't get around to.
Understandable. It happens.
Looking forward to it. Number 3. A 1, a 2, a 3. This one, I played it on a whim. Like, I just saw everyone talking about it on Twitter one day, and it was like on sale for 25% off on its first day. It's like, fine, I'll buy it. I'll plug in my Xbox and buy this thing and play it. And it was Death's Door. Death's Door. And I'm so glad I did. It was beautiful. It's that stylized, isometric. It starts as a Souls-like, and it's like, oh, okay, I kind of get this. You're collecting this currency, and it's really super punishing hard and all that kind of stuff. But as the game progresses, it more and more becomes a Zelda-like game. And I think it gives some of Zelda's best dungeons and puzzles a run for the money. Sometimes it's even better. So controversial. But yeah, I loved Death's Door. I adored it. And I that was another game that I was always thinking about playing Death's Door. Like, oh, I can't wait to get back and play that. And then I finally beat it, and I was like, God, that was such a good trip. It has that Devolver wit and charm to it. It's sharp. It's got funny dialogue. And it has a really surprisingly deep progression and upgrade system as well. So, loved Death's Door. It was only on Xbox, but now it's on everything, so everyone can go play it. So if you don't play it, you're a dum-dum. You're a big old sucker dum-dum that you get at great clips when you get your hair cut. That's what you are.
Or the bank.
That's what you are. Yeah, Death's Door, man. Another one of those like different environments, not time loop necessarily, but like roguelite at least. Dying, restarting. Yep. Freaking loved it.
Yeah, it very much is Dark Souls meets Zelda, but not punishing like Dark Souls. Like, yeah, you're collecting souls or cells or whatever they call it in the game, but it's like you don't lose them if you die. Just keep going, having a good time. Yeah, Death's Door is very good. And the music is I like that little soft piano just constantly behind you at all times. It's really, really cool. And I think it looks very good too. I like the art style. What number was that?
That was Trace.
Okay, that's right. We did the rolling tongue thing. My number 3 game of the year, no trace, is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ooh.
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Boy, what a big surprise, right? Another one where Square Enix's E3, it's like, this game looks cool. And they kept showing it. It's like, all right, it still looks fine, but like, you guys are showing a lot. And I had no high hopes because, Marvel's Avengers is what it is. And then we saw this and it's like, okay, it's still Square Enix, but these are like kind of MCU Guardians, but they're not MCU Guardians. Like, how's this going to be? And then the game came out and everyone's like, yo, this game's great. And then I waited till Black Friday. I was like, I'm gonna get that game for $30. And I bought it for $30 and the next day went for $25. But that doesn't matter because I'm happy I paid the $30. The game is fantastic. I was so blown away. I think it's like expectations because I was like, how good could this game be? And I was like, oh no, they're right. This game is awesome. For me, the best part of this game, without a doubt, is narrative, right? The story, I mean, it won narrative at the Game Awards. The story and the way that they tell it, and these characters, like there's costumes from Marvel's like AMCU version, but these are completely their own characters. They're completely different. They have their own thing, their own feel. And I just love the way that the team comes together. And just like the guy who plays Drax in this game, I believe his name is, I haven't written down, Jason Cavalier. I love Dave Bautista. Fucking love Dave Bautista. Yeah. This guy's Drax is better than Dave Bautista's Drax, without a fucking doubt. Oh my God. He gets to have so much nuance and like get to be a character. Again, Bautista's great. He's very funny. It's very fun. But this guy, like, he's a character. Yeah, that the characters in the story are fantastic. Gameplay's fine. I think it gets better as you go along just because it kind of becomes like FF7 Remake, where it's like, let me slow down and command people to do like special attacks. Because if you just do basic attacks, like, yes, I'm shooting a blaster standing still, that's not great. The other parts where you get to mix up combos and stuff, I think is good. Regardless of how good the gameplay is. I'm telling you, that story and that narrative make up for it. All your choices matter. Like, I haven't seen every different permutation, but there are things that I saw in a preview of the game that I never saw. Like, oh, I never did that. Damn. I guess I made a wrong decision because I never saw that part of the game. So that stuff's really cool. And I think everyone, especially for the price that you can find it, God, get Guardians. If you have any interest in Guardians of the Galaxy or Marvel stuff at all, it's a great team. And the soundtrack, oh my God, it's a cheat. They're just like, hey, what are all the good 80s songs? We're going to do that. And they have their own original soundtrack where he gets the idea for the name Star-Lord, which is like from a band that they make up, that it's like Star-Lord and the fucking Galaxy Goofs or whatever. I don't remember the name of them. But they have like their own
Star-Lord, the Galaxy Goofs.
But that soundtrack is like super awesome, like fucking hair metal. I'm like, this shit is dope as fuck. Whatever they made up is great. So yeah, everyone get into Guardians. Fantastic. Love it.
I played that a little bit this week over remote play on my iPad while I was back on the East Coast. And I played the opening sequence and I was like, damn it. I'm not going to sit here and play this game on remote play on an iPad. I want to wait till I get home and play this on a big screen. My goal was I wanted to finish that for Game of the Year discussion, but it's like, I just couldn't do it. I can't wait to play it on my big screen. I'm excited for it. And to hear that's your list so far, Guardians of the Galaxy and Deathloop, and like, we're not even like, those are some amazing games that you liked a lot. And that's only your
top of my list is wild.
Oh my God. I can't wait. Can't wait. Number 2, Dos Amigos. As It Takes Two. Game of the Year at Game Awards. Game of the runner-up of the year on Chad Ennis at the Respawning Fire Awards. This game, I played it over like a month and a half with a friend of mine, couch co-op. It is, and I've said it plenty of times on this thing, but it is one of the most imaginative and creative games that I have played in a very long time. Constantly, every 30 minutes, a brand new gameplay mechanic, a brand new environment, a brand new way that me and the other character have to interact with each other, and just constantly was surprising me left and right. And it was, even though the gameplay itself was like simple, like you have one or two things you could do with whatever power you have at the moment, but it supplements the other person's power in a certain way. And even though it was kind of simple, it was still like just the right amount of challenging to keep you engaged in it. It was never too hard to be frustrating. It was never too easy to be boring. It was just the right amount of challenging. And I love the fact, like, this is the second in a series of games that like you have to play with another person from I forget the name of this, but Joseph, what's his face?
Hazelight. Joseph Ferris from Hazelight Studios.
Joseph Ferris from Hazelight. This is the second one in their series where like you have to play with another person, and I love it because it really makes for some of the most fun co-op experiences I think I've ever had in gaming. It's just sitting on the couch, yelling at each other, doing of course the goofs where like, oh, I'm gonna hold this gate open. Just kidding, you're gonna fall to your death. Ha ha ha! How funny am I? Lots of those goofs. It is long as hell. Like it is much longer than you would think it'd be as a game, but I never felt tired with it because I was constantly surprised and there was constantly something new around every corner. I loved it, every bit of it.
Yep. I think that again, we were talking about it earlier, constantly changing mechanics is a good thing, especially if you pull it off well. Yeah. Because every time you switch it up, you're like, oh, this is cool. This is fun. And then I think the forced co-op works. I think forcing yourself, having to have that experience is like a good, like it will help you propel you forward, right? Compared to if you're like, oh, I'm not feeling this mechanic. I wish I played with the character or whatever. And it's like, no, like you guys have to work together, which is a fun thing in itself. We're constantly changing stuff up. Yeah, I think it's really fun. We just did a barf on that. I recorded that release last week. We talked all about it. And everyone's like, yeah, this game's great. It's really awesome. Our only real problem was the narrative, but we don't have to talk about that right now because the rest of the game is amazing. So absolutely deserves to be up there.
What's your number 2, bruh? What's your number 2?
Number 2? My number 2. So here's what I'm going to explain it because you're going to be like, oh, wow.
Okay.
Again, I was going through my list of 78 games for my top 5. And again, I was like, what did I play the most? I know, right? What did I play the most? What did I really enjoy? Whittling it down. And then when I get to when I had like 10 left, and I was just like, yo, which? Because there was another game I was thinking about, and it's like, oh, the best game in the series. And I was like, fuck, this is literally, you said it earlier, talking about like, if you're going to play one of these, play this, because it's the best one of these games. And I was like, oh, this is the best game in the series, without a doubt. And I love the series. It has to be in my top 5. And then I was like, you know what? It's number 2. Number 2 is Hitman 3.
Ooh, sleeper hit there, coming out early January.
Yeah, it coming out early January. Again, you can look on publications who were like, yes, Hitman 3 is our game of the year. But it was like, it's so far away that people forget about it. But Hitman 3 was the big thing when the year started. And again, going back and playing it throughout the year, it's like, oh, this is just the best game in the series of a series that I fucking adore. So how can I not have it as one of my favorite games of the year? It is magnificent. They do things that are unexpected. And again, they have a new engine and you can play all the old games. So like for me, I had about like 38 maps and tons of content to do. But just looking at the game itself as it is, it's like, the game progresses. Like the first level is like, this is classic Hitman. This is what you know. And then the next level is like, we're going to change it a little bit and then change it a little more and change it a little more. And that game goes places. And again, gameplay wise, it can't be beaten. I love to go back and play that. It's so good to like, all right, I'm going to dress up as the gardener, lure that guy over here and throw in a wood chipper and then go punch his wife and throw her in the back of a car and escape. Like it is murder puzzle simulator, and it's the best one out there. So I love Hitman 3, one of my favorite games, and it's so pretty. One of those early next-gen games, it's like, look at all this light reflecting. It's not even ray tracing, it just looks like
it's just good lighting.
It's just good. But yeah, Hitman 3, fantastic. Favorite series, number 2.
I know that like Hitman 1 and 2 are playable in this. Dallas in the chat says, I need to finish 2 and get to 3. Is that like, if someone out there loves the series, should they finish the game or should they buy 3 and play it in 3? Like, is it different? Like, do they have updated engine or something like that? If you play 2 levels
there's
in
updated
3?
Engine. Yeah, there's updated engine. So I would say go ahead and get 3 because everything you own, as long as you buy on the same, family, console, whatever, all your old stuff will come in. So yeah, you can just buy 3 and then play the stuff from 2 you didn't beat. And it'll look prettier. It'll look better. It'll play better. And then go straight into 3 from there. I would suggest doing that. Because it's real fun to go back to those old levels. It's like, oh, these mechanics that weren't here before are now here. Oh, those reflections that weren't here before are now here. Super cool. So I would suggest that.
Sweet. All right, my number 1 game of the year for Chad Michael Innes, Miguel Guadalupe Santana Inés.
Dino Spumoni.
Dino Spumoni. This game made me Dino Spumoni more than any other game this year. and it's something that I've been almost all year saying, yeah, I think that's going to be my game of the year. I think this is game of the year. And it is Returnal. And I adore this game. This game put me through so many emotions. I got all the same highs as I did from beating a Dark Souls boss when I was playing this game. When I was on a good run, I was beating a boss, and I had all the risk involved with this thing. I had the lowest of lows. I was I was in the middle of meetings at work because they're all, Zoom calls and things like that. I was just like, all right, I'm going to turn my camera off. Well, I'm not supposed to be in this meeting anyway. It's boring. I'm going to play Returnal instead while y'all talk about whatever.
Fuck off.
And I bit my controller multiple times during this game. Like when like I was playing and I would get so frustrated when I would die or something would happen. I would just and I would bite my controller. This game, highest of highs, lowest of lows, but I was obsessed. I was enamored with it. I loved this game. It was the first truly next gen experience as well. Having, of course, the adaptive triggers. I loved the mechanic of half pressing to have one function on your gun, full pressing the trigger to have a second function. The haptics, of course, with the raindrops and all of that, I think are some of still the most the standout experiences that I think I've had next gen, even a year after these consoles have been out. But again, like we've talked about several times already, several different biomes. There's a completely different lush environments that you're in that make it really exciting to explore from area to area. And it opened me up to roguelites. I have never, ever liked roguelites before. And I've played some of the, people love Rogue Legacy is one of the best ones, I think, that people talk about all the time. And I played that for a little bit and I was like, I just don't like this. I even talked about it. Dusty Hill has a podcast, Shouting into the Void, or Shouting in Place, that's what it was. And we had a talk on there about how I think I just don't like to fail and I don't like to look dumb and be bad at things. And that's all roguelites are about. It's just hey, you're going to fucking die over and over and over and over. But something about this game just completely hooked me. And that opened me up to just the genre of roguelites. It's God, I never thought I would like this game. So that's another reason why I'm excited to try out Deathloop, is that now that I have a little bit more of an appreciation for the genre, hopefully I'll have a better time with that game than I was expecting to have. But it's
Hades,
fantastic.
all the good ones.
What's that?
Deathloop, Hades, all the things you could play
Hades.
from this year.
Yeah, I played Hades this year, and I've never finished it. But yeah, freaking had a blast with that game too. But yeah, that bullet hell roguelite Dark Souls-esque type risk reward with it, it was so entrancing. I loved it. And also I don't know whether this is a roguelite thing or just a this game thing, but the parasite system and the items that you pick up throughout it, giving you different buffs and earning enough currency to buy something to help you throughout that particular run or that cycle, that offered a really unique and deep customization every single cycle. And so that made every single time I played it, even though I was going through the same biomes, fighting the same enemies, randomly generated at least, it made every single one feel like a completely different run with a different challenge, because I had different weapons. I had a different, perks this time. I had different challenges with the parasites as well. So I really loved that system as well. I mean, I still never beat it. I have one biome left to go, but it's one of those that I look back on. I'm like, God, I can't wait to have an excuse to go back and finish that game. Loved it.
Yep, I'm with you. The Spider-Man typing on the computer and then the raindrops from the first biome are oh yeah, this haptic shit is fucking nice.
Yeah,
it's just the little drops constantly. I like it. It's really, really good. And yeah, I'm with you. I think it's a really good. I think so. We know that studio, Housemarque, for making really, really good arcade style shooters, and they're hey, why don't we make a 3D arcade? That game's basically a 3D arcade shooter, if you really think about it. The ways the enemies attacks, it's like a shmup. There's just a bunch of fucking balls everywhere, and you got to dodge through them and stuff. And it's oh yeah, you guys just made a 3D arcade shooter, and yeah, it's very. I like the game. I don't think it'll be my number one, so it means it didn't make my list. But the reason why. Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
but I liked what I played of it. I had a good time. Oh, not good at all. But I'm with you. It makes a lot of sense. So. Do you want to go for my number one?
Let's hear it. Oh, I'm so freaking excited.
My number one game of the year is Hitman 3. Put it on there twice. No, I'm just kidding. The game. So this game, when it came out, I was like, yeah, I'll try this out. It seems cool. People are talking about it, and I played it. And the minute, maybe 2 or 3 hours in, I was like, this is my game of the year. I don't even have to think about it. Like this was the only game on the list where it was like, I got to figure out which of these 137 games are going to be in my top 5. And I was cutting them down. But this one was already number 1 before I even cut down the other 136. I was like, don't have to worry about it. And it's Inscription. Without a fucking doubt. Not even close. Inscription, everyone's like, and I'll continue to say that, don't look up what Inscription is. Just fucking play Inscription. And then you play Inscription, you're like, holy fuck, what is going on? And then you keep playing, you're like, holy shit, what is happening? And you keep going, you're like, my God, this is the best game of the year. That's just how Inscription is, man.
Damn it.
It is. And I can't wait for it to come to more places so more people can experience it. But I'm also like, man, there are parts of this that I understand why this is only on PC. I won't say any more, but there are parts that makes fucking sense. We'll see how they do that in the other versions, but
because you have to quit out of the game and like go to Excel and like double click on a pivot table and
you have to go to wikifandom.com and look up.
Yeah.
Now there are, I will tell you off air, but there are specific things that it's like, oh fuck, you can only do that on a computer.
Damn it.
But yeah, it's, I don't want to spoil it for people. I hope it comes out but I mean, everyone's been saying that. Like anyone who plays Inscription's like, fucking Inscription's the best game of the year. And they're not wrong. It is wild. It is great. It is phenomenal. And like I said, I played 3 hours of that game and it was just like November. I hadn't even played some of their stuff yet. And I was like, number 1. And then I played the rest of this stuff. And I'm like, still number 1. Nothing changed my mind. So everyone get out there and play Inscription. It is so good. Again, another example, Devolver don't miss, baby.
Yeah.
They really don't.
Devolver makes great shit.
They do.
How wild is it that we had 2 top 5 lists and didn't have a single game overlap between the two of us?
Not a single one. I was not really shocked. I was like maybe 1 or 2, but I was like, I bet these lists will be very different. Yeah. Just like when I knew that Returnal wasn't going to be on my list, just because, I mean, not Returnal's fault, it's fucking technical problems, I suppose. But I was like, I know that's Chad's number 1. So I was like, I wonder what else will or won't be. But I think both lists are absolutely warranted. They're really good lists. Mine more than yours, but yeah, they're good lists. I'm kidding, of course. But
that's what we were talking about with the Game Awards, where it's like, God, I can't be mad at any of these awards because, there was a lot of things that came out this year, and all of the awards felt like they went to good people, and there's a lot of good shit to play this year.
Like, It Takes Two, not on my list. Absolutely think deserves to win it. I understand why it won. I'm not mad that it won. Like, oh yeah, makes perfect sense. I would understand that winning, no problem. Not on my list, doesn't matter. I still think it's a great game, and I understand why it deserves to win. But, that's the kind of year we have, where I think it's like, it was a year full of 8s and 9s. Yeah. There was no I think there was a Last of Us 2. It's called Inscription. But there was no like, oh my God, this is clearly the best thing ever. Right. It's like, oh man, there's a lot of good shit here. There's a lot of good shit here. And I think that's a really interesting year.
Brings me to my regrets. You want to talk about regrets and honorable mentions?
You want to go regrets?
Yeah.
You can go regrets, absolutely.
I'm just going to run through. These are the games that like I really, really wanted to play this year that I just didn't find time. And hopefully January is a light enough month that I can at least knock out 1 or 2 of these. But top of the list, number 1 regret is Outriders. I was so hyped for that game. I played the demo of it with Dallas, had a blast, and it came out, I guess, it was right around Returnal maybe, and it got back.
It was April, I believe.
Yeah, it was like end of April. Anyway, I don't remember why, but we never actually even started the game. And it's just like kept getting put off. And now it's like, I forgot it even came out until I was going back. I missed the wave on that one. So maybe
I
one
will
day
say,
I can play it.
That game was the hottest shit for like a hard week. Like I was into it. Everyone was into it. And then like week 2, it's like, starting to slow down a little bit. And then you could still play it now. It's still a solid game, but it had like the zeitgeist for like a week straight. It was like Outriders, baby. That's all we're doing. And then,
what I do love is that it's like a contained, like it is a game front to back, like 40 hours ish. And you've accomplished everything you can in the game. So it's not like Destiny where I'm going to put thousands of hours into it and it's going to eat my life. So I do like that it's a one and done type thing.
Yeah. Get 2 friends and go through that campaign. You'll be good to go.
Yep. I got Guardians of the Galaxy on there. We've already talked about that. How I want to make sure I play that in the right way. Deathloop, I just never got around to, but I still have it. Kena Bridge of Spirits is something that got like a lot of hype right around when it launched, and I played a little bit of it right before I went to Disney World. Played like an hour, and then I had to get on a plane and go to Disney World, and I just never got back to it. But it's one that I really want to play too. And then Diablo 2 Resurrected. God, I love Diablo so much. And it came and went this year, and I never even opened it up. I downloaded the beta and played a little bit of the beta, but then I never played it.
Never went back to it.
Yep.
Don't. So my biggest regret. So there's only 2 games that I didn't play that are like worth, like the ones that were like, oh, everyone's played this. Is great. Didn't play Metroid Dread. Don't have a Switch.
Yeah.
Can't play it. Is what it is. Unless I can emulate it somehow. I'd do that. And then didn't play Village. I really like Resident Evil. I say I've played a lot of I played about half Resident Evil games, but then I saw Village. I watched someone play Village completely all the way through, so I know like what's going on and what's happening. But I don't want to be scared. Let me be honest with you. I don't want to be spooked. We'll get to Barf, but I have one game I hope to God does not win because I don't want to be scared. I don't want to be jump scared. So those are only the 2 that I didn't play. It was just like I don't want to be spooked and I don't have a Switch. So that's the only ones I completely missed out on. It was like, it is what it is. I knew. Like, I can be honest with you, I did not play those for those very specific reasons.
Yeah.
The thing that killed me, again, going on my big list, I'm only talking about my Game of the Year list, but I had, more lists or whatever. And the thing that I thought was going to get places, but never did, was Death's Door. Death's Door, I played it. I was like, I know people love this game. Like, I don't want to speak for him, but I think John over at Pixel Street, like, really, really likes it. Might be misspeak.
He liked it, but he was really upset by like how far apart the checkpoints were, the save points were towards the end of the game.
Which is very true. But people were really into it. Again, like we made the joke. Everyone said every game that came this year was their game of the year. But a lot of people were like, yeah, Death's Door was great. And I played it. I was like, yeah, it's very good. I just don't think about it ever.
Yeah.
I was talking about the music before. When you're playing for 3 hours straight, the piano music actually is kind of annoying. Not gonna lie. I kind of get tired of it. Again, I think it's a really cool game. I like the way that it works. It's just like, it just doesn't make top 5 for me. And then also Forgotten City, which everyone was really excited for. I thought it was really cool. I did enjoy it, but I didn't finish it. And that game's only 5 hours. Like I got really far and I was like, I was doing all this stuff and I was just like, you know what? I don't actually care anymore. And I just stopped playing it. So I don't know. But I know some people were like, that's my favorite game of the year. I'm like, I get it, but I didn't play it. And it's a 5 hour game. Or I didn't finish it. So those are kind of my biggest regrets. Because again, when I made my long list, like they were there. And then I started cutting stuff down. They were kind of the first ones to go.
I mean, there are 137 games on your list. Like, I don't even know if there are 137 games that made it this year due to COVID.
So yeah, otherwise I was like, again, there's like a ton of games right after number 5. It's like Forza is up there, and like I said, Death's Door is there. And there's a lot of stuff there, but for as much as people really like those Death's Door and Forgotten City, I'm just like, no, they're not doing. And Returnal's the other one. If Returnal, guess what? Because remember, everyone remembers, they had the save state. I did save state. I loaded up the game, killed me. And I was like, all right, I'll go through. I beat the boss, so I got the grapple hook. I'm on to Biome 3. Chad, you want to have a guess of what happened when I loaded back into that game a month later?
Was it the same save state as before?
Nope. I loaded in. I was at the beginning of Biome 3, fell through the world and died. And went right back. God. I said goodbye and uninstalled Returnal.
I would have done the same thing.
That save system doesn't work, which doesn't. It doesn't. You said you had the same thing?
I know. I would have done the same thing. I would have just given up.
Yeah. Yep. And again, because I like that game. Again, it's very pretty. I like all the haptic stuff. There's just certain designs about it being a roguelike. Like, I think having to do hour-long runs. And it's like, oh, I have the grappling hook now, so you can skip stuff. It's like, but no, I need my weapon proficiency, so I have to fight some people.
Right.
I can't just go through it, so you have to. I was just like, there's a lot here that I like, but I just wish you would have tightened it up and made runs maybe a little bit shorter, and I think it would have been a better experience. But again, I think it's good, but I was just like, you fucked me, and I'm not happy about it. It was not a good fucking.
That's another thing about Returnal that
regrets.
I realized if you can skip. If you find the right rooms, you can skip from biome 1 to 2 to 3 pretty easily and make that run. But I did that all the time, and I was just always dying towards the end, always dying as soon as I got to the boss, and I was so frustrated. But then I realized,
like, weapon proficiency 2, and then you're supposed to have 5.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not going to work. Just because I can skip it doesn't work.
Yep. So the whole thing is like, you have to make those really long runs. You have to clear out the entire first biome, the entire second biome. And that way, by the time you get to the third one, you've got all the shit. You've got the proficiency. You've got a ton of items and power-ups and parasites, and like that's when you start having really good successful runs. But that's also where I just spent so much time in this. There's so much risk involved, and like that's where it gets good. That's what makes you Dino Spumoni at the end.
I would Spumoni everywhere. But again, if the save system would have worked, I wouldn't. It might have been on my list.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have been mad. But it really pissed me off by saying you can save now. No, you can't. All right,
you can save now, but if you use the tool, you're fucked.
You're gonna die. So yeah. But anyways, otherwise, I think it's a pretty good year. So can't complain. Yeah. Speaking of a pretty good year, segment from Adam. Oh. Yeah, my chest is coming out again. So, I put out a tweet earlier today. We got two things actually today for my segment. It's all about Game of the Year. It's all about Twitter. So, I said Game of the Year. I was like, hey, guys, was it Gertie from Parks and Rec? What's his name again?
Jerry Larry Gary Gergich?
Gary Gergich.
Yep.
I tweeted out a GIF of him, and I said, we're preparing for today's Game of the Year episode. We want to hear from you folks as well. Follow us on Respawn Aim Fire on Twitter. I asked, what was your personal Game of the Year? If you want to leave a little description, go ahead and do that. So, I've got some replies here.
Ooh, let's hear them.
Splatrick Magoo Hands.
Gross. So gross.
I know you love that. No, it's really Midnight Mirth. This Corey over from Cretan's Guild said, despite wanting to be one of the cool kids and say Loop Hero, he only played the demo. Instead, Honey Pop 2 got me for a while early in the year. Honey Pop 1 was really solid, but Honey Pop 2 cut some of the fat while adding a layer of complexity that never gets unwieldy, plus titty. So,
plus titty.
I've seen, he is the dude who plays like all the Steam games. So he's constantly playing, like he likes noir stuff and he plays visual novels and stuff like that. And I saw him tweeting about Honey Pop 2 all the time. And it's just like, don't play that game around your children. But I'm sure it's like very good. It looks like one of those you're like, this game is horny, but I bet it's actually very good as well. You know, there are things like that. Like, I don't want to watch this in front of mom and dad, but I bet it's real good. Game of Thrones is awesome, but don't watch it in front of a 6-year-old. Honey Pop 2 for him. So that was awesome to see. From McKenna Middle, this is from McKenna, a good friend of mine. Said Backbone, you're a raccoon detective set in a dystopian Vancouver, a game with excellent writing and excellent story. So this game is on Game Pass, called Backbone, and it's like a noir detective story where everyone is animals. They're like rabbits and weasels and fucking, furry stuff, all over the place. But it looks really, really interesting. I've had my eye on it on Game Pass. I never played it, but I did download it based on his recommendation.
Oh, it's got beautiful art.
Yeah, it's
my God.
Great pixel art shit. It looks very good. So, and that's just on Game Pass. And I've seen it, but I never played it. And he said it's good. So I'm like, good enough for me. I'll try it out. All right. D Smitty Games, whoever this guy is. I don't think he's in the chat. Was he in the chat at some point? Returnal felt like a true next-gen experience for me. Haptics and adaptive trigger on the DualSense were incredible. Smooth, challenging combat. Graphics and sound design were fantastic. All-around great game. Yeah, absolutely agree. Even with it eating my save and me kicking my PlayStation, he's absolutely right. It's very pretty.
It's kind of your fault for making your save delicious.
Yeah, I know, right? I shouldn't have been so good at the game. Question mark. But yeah, you and him, Returnal. Again, I completely get it. I do think it's a very good game. I just wish it would save my saves. Awesome. John Hansen, which everyone knows, he was actually on the It Takes Two podcast with us from Pixel Street. Psychonauts 2, brilliant writing and gameplay, love the design of the world and characters, perfect return from the original, so long ago that feels like a matter of days in the game. So yeah, he was a big fan of the first one. I know the first one, I've never played it all the way through, but yeah, Psychonauts 2 is very good. Again, especially if you're a fan of, it's not Tim Sweeney, Tim Schafer.
Tim Burton style.
And the Tim Burton style, Tim Schafer, Tim the Tool Man, Alan Taylor. But yeah, Psychonauts 2 I think is a very good continuation. Like I said, the only thing that bothers me is that the gameplay feels like an early 2000s platformer, but everything else I think is fantastic. So I'm with you there. And then Cozy Bear, he's here.
Cozy.
Get used to it. Deathloop. I had a blast scouring its districts for secrets. Yes, Cozy Bear, you're very right. This game is awesome. It's fantastic to play. And a lot of secrets. There's a lot of stuff that I missed and I beat the game. And there's still tons of shit I didn't do. So there we go.
He said something like it's 208th platinum or something like that too. What a freaking wild insane dude. That's amazing.
So many platinums. God, 208. That's a fucking lot.
Yeah.
I've got like 3.
I think I was 53. I think was my last of those Part 2 platinum.
Yeah, I think my old profile had about 7 or 8, and then my new profile's got, I've probably got like 10 or 11 total. A lot of those are Telltale games and Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, those automatic Telltale ones. I loved it.
I loved it. Do that all day, baby. All right. And then my other thing from Twitter is we had a Game of the Year competition.
Oh wait, we had someone in Patreon too, right?
I don't know. I have 2 on Twitter. Is what I have. Let me know if someone sent one to Patreon, because I do not know.
I'm going to Patreon.
About Patreon.
Someone responded about Game of the Year in Patreon, I think.
Oh, okay. Can you read that? Is that
I'm loading it?
Or is that one that was already put up? Okay.
Well, going to publish posts. This is the theme song of the show. Game of the Year episode. Yes, here it is. Dr. Bleep Bloop on Patreon says, some recency bias, but I quite liked Deathloop. I enjoyed the story and the game design. Item progression felt broken. Get a silenced pistol and snipe headshots. I feel like I fucked up not turning waypoints off at the start. Too much hand-holding. But I also feel like I blacked out for the first half of the year.
That's fair. Awesome. So that's all everyone's Game of the Year is from the readers and the listeners? No, people don't read this. It's a fucking podcast.
I don't
fucking
know.
Idiot.
They might feed it into Siri and have Siri transcribe it, and then they read the transcription. Yeah. Who knows? I
stand corrected. So, for Game of the Year, again, another Parks and Rec GIF. I guess I like Parks and Rec. Let's have some fun. Reply below with your guesses for what Chad and Adam's individual top 5s will be. The person closest wins a gift card, gaming platform of their choice. So we're about to reach out to whoever won this because we're doing this live. Ooh. So, Chad, do you have your list up?
I've got my list up.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I remember your list, but I don't remember what order. So we had Smitty. He subscribed, so we got 2 entries. If you subscribed on YouTube to Respawn Aim Fire, he has Chad's list. He said, I guess is going from one down.
Okay.
Death's Door, It Takes Two, Returnal, Metroid Dread, and RE8. I think he got your entire list, but not in order.
Correct. He got all 5, but just in the wrong order.
And then, let's read this. Returnal, It Takes Two, RE8, Death's Door, Metroid Dread.
Oh, shit. He got it almost exactly. Death's Door and RE8 were flipped.
So he has 1, 2, 3, and 5 correct. In order, but he has all the games correct.
Correct. Yep.
Correct. All right. Let's see. And then we also had Rattlehead73X, who goes by Loops on Twitter. Believe he's a fan of Pixel Street. Or they, I don't really know. So also subscribed on YouTube. He sent multiple lists. I'm trying to make sure which one is these. Okay, here's my 4 lists. Okay, so for you, he did Deathloop, Metroid, Ratchet and Clank, Returnal, and Psychonauts.
Ooh, spoilers. Didn't love Ratchet and Clank.
Yes, he didn't get that. All right, so then Psychonauts 2, Halo, Forza, Ratchet, and Cyberpunk. So that one was incorrect. So
and Cyberpunk. Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice try.
All right. So, and here's the funny thing is that Smitty put his in literally at the last minute. So
far he's like
6 hours ago, this dude was going to win 100%. I'm just saying, dude, I don't know. Excuse me if I say your pronouns incorrectly. So, Smitty, you've won one half of the gift cards for basically getting Chad's entire thing perfect. That's what it's crazy that he got all 5 games and then he also got all but one of the positions correct.
It was his second one. It's because he subscribed on YouTube.
That's why he got that second one. He got it. So that's really cool. All right. Now we're going to do for the other gift card. And we'll reach out to you, Smitty, and we'll get you a gift card for whatever gaming platform of your choice. Do Steam because it's the best. So now we're going to look for Adam. We're going to say, hey, who got Adam's list? And Adam already forgot his list, so I'll put it over here. So over here, he has his, this is for Smitty again. It's Loop Hero, Deathloop, Halo, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Forza. So his first list has 2. Because he has Deathloop and Guardians.
All right.
His second is Deathloop, Loop Hero, Unpacking, Far Cry 6, and Halo. So his best list is he has 2, and we'll worry about the order when we get to it. I will say this, that let's say if there was other lists, there was like best indie, he has a lot on my list. Like Loop Hero was on my list for other things, just not overall game of the year. But I absolutely love Loop Hero, and I love Unpacking. So you nailed it, just wrong list kind of a thing. But he does have 2 correct in one of these lists, so we'll see. No, we'll go back to Loops, Rattlehead73X. Here we go. He says Psychonauts 2, Deathloop, Forza Horizon, Death's Door, and Halo Infinite. So
Two,
another
right?
twofer.
Yep.
All right. And then Death's Door, Returnal, Psychonauts 2, Halo, and Ratchet. That one only has one that's correct.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting. So now we have to. So they both had 2 correct.
How
right?
are they weighted? Is it like if they guess 3 and 4, and like if they guess the right position, is that more?
Yeah, now I'm doing by
points?
position.
Okay.
So Loops is Psychonauts and Deathloop. He put Psychonauts is 1 and Deathloop is 2. So on my list, oh good lord, Adam, put this in the right spot. Psychonauts was 5 and Deathloop was 4. So at the bottom, but there's still a chance. And then we go to Smitty's, and Deathloop was 2 on his, and Guardians was 3. Deathloop was 4, and Guardians was 3. I don't know who's better. You know what? I'm just going to make a call here. Smitty, you already won 1. We're going to give the other one to Luke.
Fucking greedy Smitty.
Yeah, get out of here
Fucking
making your good predictions.
In the chat right now, someone else named DF and Smitty says, it's because I love Chad. And then he says, Adam, to be fair, your list was almost impossible for you to make. Narrowing it down from 137 games.
There were 789 games
right.
in my top 5 list.
Exponentially more games.
But here's what we'll do. Smitty and Rattlesnake, or Rattlehead, excuse me. Rattlesnake, what the fuck am I talking about?
Oh my God.
Rattlehead and Smitty, you're both going to get a gift card. You both win. Good job.
Thanks
We
for
appreciate
playing,
it.
y'all.
Awesome.
Thanks for playing.
Awesome. Again, that perfect fucking list from Smitty. You guys must have had some collusion going on.
Oh my
there.
God. Insider trading?
Martha Stewart?
Did I tell Martha Stewart and she told Dallas?
And she told, yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, that's everything for Game of the Year. Thank you for those who participated and gave us your Game of the Year, who won gift cards. And that was our list. So I hope you enjoyed it. We're right and you're wrong.
That's
But speaking,
wait, what's next?
go
What
ahead.
do we
Oh,
do
speaking of having a tie on your head, Chad, we're talking about some playtime.
Oh, we're tied. Get it? Because I'm wearing a tie. I'm gonna wear it like a ninja. I have a ninja turtle, and now I'm gonna put it over my face too. Just kidding. That's terrible for audio. Hey, playtime. I already talked about one of the things I played. I played like 30 minutes of Guardians of the Galaxy and decided that I need to not play this on an iPad. But I was back home for 10 days, and it was too long to be back home away from my precious game systems. I played a lot of things over remote play. Here's some things, some experiences. Destiny 2 over remote play on Wi-Fi. Played a lot of those, like told you about the horsey game show on that thing that was just like there for season thing. Played a lot of that. It was a blast. Ran pretty well. Played on Ethernet. Hooked up my iPad to Ethernet and played it as well. And we were able to do like some end game content and do some like really difficult stuff. So like that was a good experience. Playing Halo Infinite multiplayer. This was fucking awful. Awful, Adam. There was.
What are you doing playing a multiplayer, a fast-paced multiplayer shooter over the Wi-Fi anyways?
It's not my fault that as soon as I get to the East Coast, Halo says, hey, you want all these cool new skins and stuff like that?
That's right.
All you got to do is log on and play one match every single day. I did that for 4 days, and then I said, I don't even fucking care about the rest of this shit anymore. I played it via xCloud. Not X, what do they call it now? It's Xbox Cloud Gaming. Played it with that on my iPad on Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi speeds were way more than adequate, like 200 megabits down, like I think it was 10 or 12 up. Way more than adequate, and it was abhorrent. It was like literally blacking. Like it was like you're blackout drunk and you only remember flashes from what happened the night before. Like that's how it was playing it. It would black out and then it would catch up for a frame and then it would black out and then you'd be dead and then you'd black out and you'd be respawned and dead again. It was awful. Plugged into Ethernet, still not a good experience. Still a lot of lag, but like at least there was no blacking out and it was just kind of slow, but not a good experience. I also did try just remote playing my Xbox via the Xbox app, and that was a little bit better, especially on Ethernet, but still not. Cloud gaming is the future, but it is not the near future. Not at all. But I did play some other things that are handheld. So I played on planes, actually. So these next 2 games, the last 2 that I played this week, were on planes. One of them was Pokemon Shining Pearl. For the first time, Adam, when I get on an airplane, I get so excited. I was like, yes, I have. Usually I'm flying for like 9 hours, 10 hours of the day because I'm flying from coast to coast. Right? Yeah. And usually at least a layover. So I have a lot of time. And I'm just like, all right, I'm going to download 7 movies and a whole TV show. And I'm going to download 7 games on my Switch. I'm going to play them all. And then I immediately, before we even take off, fall asleep. It's something just like they drug the air on the plane or something like that so that everyone falls asleep and no one breathes too much because of COVID. And I just immediately fall asleep. This ride home, the whole ride home 2 days ago, didn't fall asleep once. Stayed awake the whole time. Okay. I got so much done. I watched the entire second season of The Witcher on my iPad. And then I had my Switch on the keyboard of my iPad. On the table, so I was watching The Witcher while I was playing Pokemon because you don't need to hear Pokemon. It's just like more do 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 do. I'm a bird. It's just a lot of sounds.
Dino Spumoni.
So I was doing that. I played like a good 7 hours of Pokemon on the plane the other day, and I'm in it. I'm like literally like 20 hours in it. And got 7 badges. Just got Palkia, the god Pokemon who created Sinnoh and is the god of the god of space and dimensions. And then there's Dialga.
Space and relativity?
No say essay.
That's science, baby.
No say essay. But I'm enjoying it. It is, I think I said this whenever I first started it. It is Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow. It's the same exact fucking shit over and over. But I'm having fun with that same exact fucking shit. Loving it. And then I played Unpacking. Because you talked about it and you're like, I don't know what it is about this game that is just like, I'm drawn into it. I really like it. So I played it. Same, dude. I was playing it and I think I know what it is. Again, for anyone who doesn't know, it's like 8-bit pixel art and you're literally just tapping on a box with a cursor. An item comes out of it and you have to figure out where to put it in the room. And you're just unpacking as someone moves, starting from like being a kid to going off to college to having an apartment with roommates to having your own place. So you're just doing it from life event to life event and you're just figuring out where things go. And it is the lo-fi hip-hop beats to study to of video games. And
that might be what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exact. You just get in, you zen out and you're like, oh, where am I going to put these panties? Where am I going to put this poster? Where am I going to put my diary? And you're just like, I'm just organizing a room. It's just so chill, and the music also helps, and it's really great. But it also, of course, has like the character in the heart of like you're seeing this person as they go from having like you said, like 30 stuffed animals to having like 3 or 4 stuffed animals, and just like seeing what they choose to keep over time and what they accrue. Oh my god! And then like living through these life events that most of us have lived through as well, where you're moving into a shared apartment with 3 other people and they have all their shit everywhere and you got to figure out where yours fits in with all of theirs. So I had a great time playing it. I didn't beat it yet. I didn't finish it. Didn't have enough planes, but I'll probably
get another plane, finish it up.
Yeah, it's a short game. I'll probably end up, I think it's only a few hours. I played it for like 2, so I'll probably end up finishing it. But yeah, just a really good chill Zen game. I wish there wasn't a right answer for some things. Like you unpack it.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, like you unpack everything and it's like, oh, these 4 items don't belong where they were. And you got to figure out, well, first of all, I don't even know what the fuck that item is. It's just this weird
There's something like
blob.
It's a round rubber thing, I think, somewhere in the kitchen.
I had this thing that I swear to God was a yoga mat that just told me everywhere I put it, it's like, this is the wrong place. Finally put it somewhere that it let me do it. And then I got to the next room and I thought it was another. I was like, God, how many fucking yoga mats does this person have? Turns out it's a poster, but it was rolled up, and I could have put it on the wall.
You got to just like put them on the wall.
Yeah,
all these yoga mats.
But yeah, part of the charm of unpacking in real life, there's no charm to it, is figuring out like, where the hell am I going to put this? And you're like, I don't fucking know. I'll put it here until I have a better place, and then it just stays there for 5 years. So I wish that like you could have done that in the game too.
Yeah, if it was me. Her stuff would have half of her stuff would have just stayed in the box until she moved to the next spot. Yeah. So it's like the box is exactly the same. Nothing changed.
But I also love about it that like true to life, you open up a box and the boxes aren't themed. At least maybe they are later in life whenever you become more organized as a person. But like one box, you pull out a computer tower and that's it. That was all in that box. The next box, you pull out underwear, a boot. Like one of a pair of boot, not both boots.
Yeah, she is all boot. Yeah,
a stuffed
Where's
animal.
the other one? Who knows?
It's just like this is fantastic. The way that they packed is like super realistic.
It's really good when it's like, oh, this is all. It's in the bathroom, and it's all the bathroom stuff except for you know, like you have like a pair of socks. It's like, why are these socks in the bathroom stuff?
And you got to switch rooms. Like, fuck. I forgot to
Everything
put
else
this
was
sock in
right, but the pair of socks. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know what it is. That game is very, very good. Everyone check that out if you want to like relax and chill out.
That's it. That's all I played this week. Lots of Destiny 2.
Mm-hmm.
I beat it. I beat Destiny 2. Sorry, the last
Destiny
thing I'll
2?
say, like, I've gotten every single triumph. I've gotten all the seals that I need to get for the season before everything like goes to Witch Queen on February 22nd. We beat all the raids. I've beat all the dungeons. Like I got legendary difficulties. These things. I've done everything that I needed to do. Like I have a checklist. I got to do these things before Witch Queen comes out in February. And I did it all. And now I'm going to just keep doing it again. It's wonderful. Do it again.
The Witch Queen will not be ready. So as for me, I took kind of a journey because it's been 2 weeks since we recorded an episode. Well, a regular episode.
Right.
So I went all over the place. And I did the thing that I hated the most. I became a little bit of a weeb. And I hate myself for it. I played Genshin Impact. How should you say it on the Game Board? Genshin Impact. I played Genshin Impact, everybody. And that game is very well made.
Yeah.
It is extremely well made mobile game that plays beautifully on a PS5, is what I will say. And that's not like an insult. Like, I mean, my son was like, "Oh, I played that on my phone." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, dude." But it is Breath of the Wild in every way, except for it's in fucking anime world. And the way you collect characters, that's straight. I think it's called gacha, but like not spelled like gotcha. It's like gacha or something.
Right.
But it's like, so I used to play a game on my phone called Summoner's War, which was like a really big one of those games where it's like, yeah, you collect it. It's like, I got a 5-star barbarian king, da 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 da. And I'm playing this game. It's like, oh yeah, this is that system where it's like, let me get my currency to roll and hope I get a good character out of it. And it's like, oh fuck, I got a 4-star, fucking dope as shit. But free to play. And again, it plays very well. I like, so you build your team of your free to play fucking pull randomly out of packs characters, but you can switch them like as you're playing. So it's like your main dude is like, oh, I got wind powers. It's like, oh well, my girl's got a fire bow, so I need to fire bow the goblins with their shields, so their shields catch on fire. Then I switch to air boy to finish them off, and it's like, oh, that's really interesting. The story, I don't fucking know. Couldn't tell you, man. It is weeb stuff. I think there's a dragon called Stormkeeper or Stormbreaker. No, Stormbreaker's too cool. It's not Stormbreaker. Something dumb. But yeah, I'm like, just give me my glider and let me climb up a wall and go do a dungeon and kill some
Breath of the
slimes.
Wild with good combat.
Absolutely. It's fun.
Yep.
Unlike Breath of the Wild. I'm kidding. Relax. So yeah, Genshin Impact. It's the thing. It's like, well, I keep playing that, but I'm like, it's fucking free. Like, there's literally no... And I haven't seen the point yet where it's like, oh, you pay us money to win. It's like, they just keep giving me 4-star characters. So I'm like, I'll just.
It's cross progression? Like if you're bored on your phone, like can you play it on your phone and have the same character and progression as your PS4 or PS5?
Probably. I refuse to make an account, but I'm sure if I made an account, I could do cross progression. So yeah, it's cool just to have on there. And maybe I dick around when I don't have anything I want to play. I'll play it once in a while. Then I also tried Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is in early access. It's from the people who made Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2, which are fucking 10 out of 10 RPGs. And they're like, your games are so good. Why don't you just make the official D&D game? They're like, we were already making D&D games, so thank you very much. And it's still in early access, but there's been so many updates since I played it. Like, I haven't played it in, like 6 months, and I get on there and there's like, oh, there's like 4 new levels and like 4 new areas. Okay. All right. I guess I'll start a new character and do this, but I just, get my D&D fix. Hoping that game comes out in earnest pretty soon, but I just put some time into that. Also, Epic had a big sale. Also, if anyone has PC, Epic Game Store has all 3 Tomb Raider games for free until like January 6th. Please go claim those. Those first 2 games are fucking 10 out of 10s. The third one, just claim it because it's free. But I played some John Wick Hex because I got it on sale. I got it like $4. And it's fine. I think it's from Bithell Games
Mike
or whatever.
Bithell.
Everyone knows old Mr. Mike
alone,
Bithell.
man. I think that's the first game I ever cried during was Thomas was alone.
Thomas was alone?
Yep.
For me, it was Super Mario Brothers 2 because someone punched me in the nuts while I was playing it. But John Wick Hex, it's fine. I think it's like a fun, like little strategy game. I think it was like a 7 or 8 out of 10. Or it's not even an 8. It's probably like a 7 out of 10. But it's fun. It's like I have a John Wick like obsession. Like I fucking love the world of John Wick. So that was just like for $4, I'll dick around and play this game. I also tried playing The Gunk, which was like the last big release of the year. It was on Game Pass. I believe it's Xbox exclusive. I might be incorrect, but I know it's on Game Pass for sure. And it's like a little indie game where it's for the people who make the SteamWorld games. If you ever played those, SteamWorld games are very good.
Like SteamWorld Dig and
Dig, Heist World,
Gotcha.
or whatever, all that. And it's a 3D game, and the main character is voiced by that girl who worked at Achievement Hunters at G4. It's like Fiona something.
Fiona
I don't remember. That's not it at all.
Christina Applegate.
But I see her on Twitter. That's the one.
Apple's in her name, right?
No, it's Fiona something. I don't know. She worked at Rooster Teeth. She's the mixed girl. She's pretty cool. But so she voices the main character, and you go on this planet, and you're like broke ass truckers. And you're like, yo, we got to do the job. We can fix our ship or whatever. And you out there, and it's like, hey, there's gunk everywhere, and you clean up the gunk, and then you fight animals.
Oh, gunk! I get it.
The Gunk, yeah. I played it for a couple hours. I'm like, this is cool, and I'm just like, but it's a game that's kind of nothing. Where it's just like, oh yeah, it's a game about, you know, cleaning things up and having the beauty of the world, but like there's not really a lot of gameplay. So I kind of got off of that. I was like, no, this is like a 7, and I'm a 7 I don't want to play. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I don't think it's bad. It's just like I am not enjoying myself. So I'm sure some people like the Gunk. Not I, says the cat. And then finally, I'm not even a nerd for this one. This is what cool kids play. I got back into Fortnite.
Nice.
Season or chapter 3 launched. They have the Spider-Man, which the Spider-Man mechanic, they straight up, it's fucking Insomniac Spider-Man swinging. Like, it's great. You just and swing around.
And technically anyone can swing now, right? With like, there's an item.
It's an item you pick up. Yep. And it's a little spider. It's his hands. So you pick up his hands and you put them on, and then you just flip around. Flip. And I hadn't played Fortnite in a very long time, but I was like, let me play Fortnite. Every time I try to play Fortnite, it's like, I haven't played for 8 months. I'm like, oh shit, I really like Fortnite, and especially all these skins. So I downloaded it. I bought the season pass, and I spent $40 in skins because they had Boba Fett, and I had to get Boba Fett. And they had both Venoms, so they had comic book Venom and they had Tom Hardy Venom. Oh, and shit. I've got to get both of those. Yep. What are we talking about here? The last time I did this, some point during chapter 2, maybe the beginning of it, I was like, I'm gonna get back into Fortnite, and I spent $125 on
holy shit
Fortnite when I first got back because I hadn't played it in like a year.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I need the battle pass, and look at all these skins that I've missed. And it's like I had extra money, so like fuck it, and I bought all of the skins. So right now, I bought a couple skins. I got some cool emotes with dances and shit. And I'm just going through it, trying to unlock Spider-Man because I just want to play that Spider. Well, I bought Tom Holland Spider-Man in the red suit and the black suit. And I bought Zendaya because she came in the pack too. So I'm also Zendaya. But they have the comic accurate. Like, remember like the old, like the itty bitty little, the small spider, like the little chunky spider in the middle of his, they have that one. That's in the battle pass. So I'm going to work my way towards that. And then The Rock comes out pretty soon, which I know Brent hates, but I love. So I'm going to be The Rock.
If you are looking for someone to play Fortnite with, that kid will be your best friend.
I will play Fortnite with you.
Yep.
So yeah, that's me. I was back on my bullshit. I didn't really have much to do. I finished everything for Game of the Year. It's like, what's some free-to-play bullshit I can play? And half of that stuff was basically free-to-play
I don't know if you can call Fortnite free-to-play if you spend $40 on it immediately.
It's free to play. It's free to start. I don't have to have skins. I just want the skins. You know, when you're an adult, you can do things like that.
Right.
Eddie.
We don't give kids that much money because they're not responsible with it. And then as adults, we buy 7 different Spider-Men in Fortnite.
I do have multiple Spider-Men. I have 2 Mandalorians at this point.
I love it.
Because I do have the Mandalorian, and then I bought Boba Fett. So I have 2 Mandalorians.
I can't talk because I did buy silver in Destiny so that I could buy the dinosaur costumes for the Titan and Hunter characters that I don't even play. I don't even like playing.
Doesn't matter. It's a dinosaur costume. You have to buy it.
Exactly. But I know that if I ever was going to play as the Hunter, I'd want to be a Velociraptor.
Absolutely. Understand. Believe me, you're talking to the right guy. I'm not going to argue with you. But that's what we played. But what's been happening? It's been 2 weeks. Has anything happened in the world?
Not much.
You know what's so great about this? You know what's great about this time of year?
What?
That I went on my gaming websites and I'm like, news. And I'm like, I'll scroll down 2 weeks. And it's like, there's been 20 stories in 2 weeks. I'm like, awesome. And half these are about movies. So I can ignore this shit. So yeah, there's a couple. There's not a ton. But we do have stuff after the stories that we can talk about that'll be fun. Stay tuned for that. But as far as news, again, to our quest log, GoldenEye lives, ? From Eddie McCooch at GameSpot. Glad to see he's still employed.
Yep.
Living his best life. It looks like Rare's classic James Bond game, GoldenEye 007, might be headed to Xbox. Achievements for the game have appeared online as spotted by Wario64 and posted on True Achievements. So if Wario says it, it's fucking true, because this guy never lies.
Only speaks the truth.
Achievement. Yeah, absolutely. Achievements pictured in a GoldenEye 007 thumbnail also appeared online, adding to speculation the 1997 N64 game might be headed to Xbox in the future. 55 achievements, 1,000 gamer score. You know achievements work. It does look like there are campaign and multiplayer achievements, so it looks like the whole thing is possibly coming back. And then years ago, XBLA version of GoldenEye 007 was poorly in development. Phil Spencer said the lack of GoldenEye at that time was a rights issue, which again this has been a thing before where it's like GoldenEye, everyone wants to play GoldenEye, but it's like, ooh, those rights, like, it's like Rare made the game, it's like, ooh, but we don't actually have the rights to that game because MGM like had to give us the James Bond license, and then we had to do it through Nintendo, and now Rare's owned by it's a fucking mess with the rights. But apparently it's coming true. Do you have any thoughts? Because I got one big one.
I've got two thoughts. One, didn't they already remake GoldenEye and nobody liked it?
There was, so you can Google this, but I was working at GameStop and there was a GoldenEye on Wii.
Yep, GoldenEye
but
Wii.
I don't know I don't know if it was a remake, if it was a new game that had GoldenEye. I don't know, but there was a GoldenEye game on Wii.
GoldenEye 007 2010 video game released on Wii, Nintendo DS, PS3, and Xbox 360.
Okay, so it was on everything.
Reception,
I don't know if it was just like a remake.
Yeah, it has an 81 on the Wii version on Metacritic. Okay.
Maybe it was a reboot.
Oh,
maybe
it had
wasn't the exact
PlayStation
same
Move
level.
compatibility on PS3. Nice. I bet that was awful. Yeah, GoldenEye
probably.
007 Reloaded. Second thought, Perfect Dark is the better GoldenEye. Mic drop. So, yeah, GoldenEye's fun and all, but Perfect Dark did it better. Because it was literally the microphone. Same. Like the multiplayer was like it was the same maps and all that shit, but just like cooler guns and shit and
future stuff. I'll pick up that mic, and I will say this again because I have a lot of friends who are into retro stuff and all that. That game does not fucking hold up.
No,
that game is hot garbage, hot fucking trash, and that's cool you're bringing it back. But I don't give a fuck because GoldenEye 007 is not a good game if you don't have nostalgia. I'm dropping the mic again.
I'm gonna pick that mic back up and say, hey,
there we go.
Hi. This is me on the ones and twos. I've watched.
Why are you holding the mic?
Sorry, I'm holding my left hand. This is weird to say, but I honestly think I've only ever watched one person ever play video games on Twitch. And it was one time. As like I have a podcast on a Twitch that people are watching. Mm-hmm. I've watched one person play video games on Twitch before ever in my life. And it was Matt from Rhode Island. And he played GoldenEye, the N64 game, on Twitch. And I was like, this game looks bad. This is a bad game. It does not look fun. It does not hold up. Not a good experience. And that's the only game I'm going to drop. I'm going to set the mic down. That's the only game that I've watched, and I'm not excited for it to come back.
All right, I picked it up off the table that you gently put it on. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, we'll see if a new version of this is good or revitalized or whatever. I know people will be nostalgic and they'll enjoy it, and nostalgia is a hell of a drug. It's dangerous because sometimes you're like, oh, that was paper mache that I was eating, not a hamburger. My nostalgia blinded me. But, I hope it's good. Whatever. We'll see. But apparently it's a real thing. So I hope those of you who enjoy eating paper mache hamburgers enjoy it. Put the microphone down. There you go. A nerdy tabletop RPG is coming your way. Hey, Trevor, I'm talking to you, you big nerd. It's from Jenny Zhang from GameSpot. I believe I'm saying the last name correctly. Zhang, Zheng.
You can just say from the block.
Jenny from the block. What a good movie. Steamforged Games, maker of Dark Souls themes, board games, and a card game, has announced a forthcoming Dark Souls tabletop RPG game. Other details are sparse right now. There's no mention of whether it will adhere to familiar systems like D&D's 5th edition or how it will adopt the Dark Souls storyline. So the guys who make Dark Souls real-life games are like, hey, we're doing a tabletop game, aka, D&D, Pathfinder, whatever. It's like when you sit down with your friends and you make believe and you roll dice. So we're getting one for Dark Souls. And I saw this when I was doing my research, but also Trevor talked about it 3 minutes after it was announced.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm looking back at Trevor's Twitter right now, trying to say, I'm pretty sure this guy was like in on it.
There was a lot of Dark Souls coming from Trevor for that day. It was great. Steamforged Games Dark Souls board game, currently sold out, was originally funded by Wildly Successful in Kickstarter 2016. So these guys have been in the game for a while. They're very successful. Like I said, the nerds love it. Since the Dark Souls board game release, Steamforged has gone on to partner with other studios to adapt popular video games into board games like Resident Evil 3, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Devil May Cry. So very successful at what they do. They're continuing what they do with a big franchise that people like. So
do you have to read the item descriptions in the game in order to get any idea of what's going on?
Yeah, your person running the game won't tell you anything until you read the item description. And he's like,
every time you're like, hey, you found the sword of the king, whatever, +3. And you're like, I'd like to use my turn to read the item's description.
Absolutely. And anytime I think of an item description, because I've just started watching RKG, which are the dudes who used to work at IGN and do like Prepare to Try or Prepare to Die or whatever. I've been watching because they play Dark Souls games. And anytime I think of an item description Dark Souls, like there's a British dude reading it out to me because that's all I can think of in my head. It's like, oh, the sunken king of the Iron Keep, and it was too hot because there was so much iron and it was molten and it sunk. You're like, this means that. That's like, all right, British guys, I love you. So I have a question for you because I mean this is the announcement. They're making a Dark Souls fucking tabletop game. Yeah. Play it or don't, you fucking nerds. But so there was one that was announced in 2021 based on Avatar: The Last Airbender, which was like, oh fuck, that's real cool. And one of my friends who I play D&D with is actually like communication with the dudes who are making that game. Like he buys like literally every fucking tabletop game like book ever made. Like he has literally like 500 books. So he's real good friends with those dudes. I'm like, fucking awesome. Avatar: The Last Airbender, super cool idea for a tabletop game. It's like, I'll be an airbender and you be a da-da-da. That's super cool. So think of any property, any game, movie, TV show, blah, blah, blah. What would you think would be a cool tabletop game? You can't say Dark Souls because it's made for nerds, but anything else.
Can I say Dark Souls 2? JK.
No.
JK. Oh, gosh. What do you got on the top of your brain right now? Because I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
So I don't know. I think there might be a board game based on it, but not a tabletop game. But XCOM 2, just because think of that, like you get to build out like your resistance and you have different character types, like in the game, it's like, oh, grenadier, sniper, you get special weapons. Like it's everything you do in the video game is basically what you would do in a tabletop game. So I'm like, XCOM, baby, that would be awesome. And again, I believe there's a board game, but I want a tabletop game.
I was like, along that same line, I started to think of like Fire Emblem. Like, I don't care for the Fire Emblem properties, but like if you could take all of those like completely identical clones of each other that are all just blue-haired dudes with swords and like start to give them a personality and start to make them your own and customize it and then like work your way through whatever you do in Fire Emblem. That could be fun.
That would be really cool. Yeah, I think that makes, especially for like a Warhammer-esque where it's like, oh, I control an army, which is basically what you do in Fire Emblem. It's like, oh, I control like my groups of soldiers. So like that would work great. Another great one. So it's sort of, it's so funny because he's right here underneath us. It's sort of a video game, sort of a movie, sort of a TV mega franchise, but a fucking Sonic the Hedgehog tabletop RPG. You play all the little animals.
Yeah, all those little animals from the cartoon show and the comic books. Yeah.
Why not?
That could be fun.
But I
would spend the whole time just like wanting to be freaking Sonic or Knuckles. I would want to be Knuckles.
Mm-hmm. You could just be like Fingers the Echidna.
That's the action I take. Chad Fingers the Echidna. And then
Fingers
the Echidna
oh god, that was awful. I didn't like that at all. But yeah, again, Game of Thrones I think would be the one that makes the most sense if there's not one, because it's like, oh, big fantasy world where they fight monsters. It's like that's literally just D&D, but more sex and killing children.
What about like a Horizon Zero Dawn?
That would be cool.
That would be dope.
Like a group of survivors going out into the wilderness.
Yep.
Fighting robo dinosaurs.
Yep.
I could get down with that. There's a lot of cool things you could do because tabletop RPGs are awesome. So I'm glad we had that talk. That was really fun. I enjoyed it. Ooh, last. How about a Nicktoons All-Star Brawl, a fucking tabletop game, or you just play? We actually get. Yeah, you actually get voice acting because you'll be acting the characters. But just have some zany adventure where it's like, hey, pick one of the 40 fucking Nicktoons dudes and fucking go like, here's some like pre-written adventures.
But you can't you can't have the main dudes. You can't have Arnold. You have to have Dino Spumoni. You can't
have to be Dino
Cat
Spumoni.
Dog. You have to have whoever else was in Cat Dog. Who
Arnold
else was in
helps
Cat
you.
Dog?
The mouse. He's like, hey, wise guy, and he lived in the hole.
I don't remember anything about Cat Dog.
He was a mouse who had like fucking plaid suspenders. Look it up. Like Google Cat Dog mouse, and he'll be there.
Cat Dog mouse.
He's like a blue mouse that I think had blue suspenders or plaid suspenders.
But you could be because Angry Beavers was like kind of a B tier. You could be any of the Angry Beavers. Yeah. He looks like a landlord mouse.
What's his name? Like Winston or some shit?
Winslow T. Oddfellow.
Winslow. There we go. Look at me remembering bullshit. I just want to play. So one of you can play Ren or Stimpy, but there can only be one of those guys in the party. You can't be Ren and Stimpy. It's Ren or Stimpy.
It's gotta be
too
like
much.
Disney movies. Like one of the parents has to die in the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can be Ren, but Stimpy has to die.
Stimpy
You can be Cat, but Dog has to die, and you have to drag his corpse around behind you. And you still poop out his mouth because that's your butt. And he's just dead.
Awful. All right. So for a final news story, remember I talked about analytics? Because I fucking love analytics. They tell you to always go for it on fourth down because your chances of winning the game are better. Anyways, Holden has passed away. So here's some numbers about 2021. This is multiple stories from IGN. Part of them include Nintendo numbers. That's why Holden is being mentioned. In celebration of the year that was, Nintendo... There's multiple stories from IGN, by the way. I don't know if I said just multiple stories are from IGN. Celebration of the year that was, Nintendo has shared indie games that were the best-selling on its latest console. So as a list of games, I think it's like 15 best-selling indie games on Nintendo. These aren't ranked by like which one sold better. But I'm going to read off these 15 games for you. And you should check out basically every game on this list because there are fantastic video games that are indies. So, Axiom Verge 2. I forgot the game came out this year.
Yeah, me too.
Everyone forgot, but it's a thing. Curse of the Dead Gods. It's fucking Hades, except for in the Aztec stuff, and I absolutely loved it. This is another one that I'm like, oh, this one missed my list just because no one else played it, and it's like, I don't feel that bad about it, but it's very good. Cyber Shadow. Remember Cyber Shadow? Everyone was so interested. Cyber Shadow was published by Yacht Club, the guys who did Hollow Knight, and it's basically Ninja Gaiden in the future. Where you're like cybernetic ninja.
Oh, yeah.
Killing people. Mm-hmm. Another game that I never assumed would ever be on a Nintendo console, Doki Doki Literature Club. Literature Club. Doki Doki Literature Club.
Doki Doki.
Which, that game's wild and very sexy and scary. But it's on Nintendo. So
most things sexy are also scary.
Yeah.
If you're not doing things in the bedroom that scare you, you're doing it wrong.
They need to scare somebody. Either you, your partner, or the neighbors. Somebody needs to be scared.
Somebody's going to be terrified.
Eastward, which I believe Holden talked about like wanting to like, but then it wasn't good.
Yeah. He said he was really high on it for a little bit, and then he's like, there's nothing here.
Yeah, which sucks to hear. Ender Lilies, Quietus of the Nights. I don't know what this game is, but I've heard most people talk about it at the end of the year, so maybe that's a good thing. Islanders Console Edition. Hey, if you got islands on your console, go for it.
This was the $12 version of Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it was definitely like knockoff. It's like, oh, this is Animal Island. You fucking idiots.
Everyone's a duck. We couldn't afford to make multiple models.
Just ducks and geese.
But the geese are the same as the ducks. They're just a slightly like darker shade of gray.
Yeah, darkened a little bit. Yeah. A name that I never got called in middle school, Littlewood.
Oh, nice. That was my nickname in high school.
Oof. Did I say middle school?
Yes.
That's kind of
that's kind of weird.
Road 96. Slime Rancher Portable Edition. I don't know if it's supposed to be portable or portable. Slime Rancher is a surprisingly really good game.
Yeah?
It's like a really small game. The 2's coming out next year.
It has nothing to do with Dragon Quest, right?
I don't know. It's just like, no, it's just generic slime stuff. But it's a game that it's like, oh, I've heard of this random game. I think it was like a Games with Gold game, but it's on everything.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh yeah, they sold like 5 million copies, and like I've never heard of this game, but people fucking love it.
I remember people talking about this game.
Yeah. Spelunky 2, which is I actually know Spelunky. That's very cool. I like that a lot. Stick Fight, the game, which I've heard good things about. Subnautica plus Subnautica Below Zero. Those games are really cool. If you want to be scared underwater, play Subnautica because that shit is awesome. Yes, very sexy, very scary. Tetris Effect Connected, which is fucking great. Oh my god. If you've not played Tetris Effect Connected, do it.
That was the free one, right? Or no, Tetris Effect was the free thing. No, Tetris Effect is
Effect Connected was on Game Pass.
You're right.
One.
That's right. And PSVR. Oh man, if I like
PSVR
Tetris,
version,
I played the demo of it in PSVR. And it's just like, oh my god, this is another one of those like Zen cool experiences playing Tetris. But I just don't like Tetris.
Connected was the PSVR one, but then they added multiplayer and added new tracks to it, and then that was on the next gen of consoles. So it's that game, but I mean, just more content. It's very good. I'm with you. It's beautiful, but yeah, you guys like Tetris because that's what it is. And then last, unpacking, because fucking it's great. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. More analytics. You should always go for 2 points instead of a field goal. Your chances of winning greatly improve. Most watched games on Twitch. So this is for the year 2021. Most watched, most popular, da-da-da-da-da. We've got all the numbers for Twitch. You nerds who like to watch people play video games, I am one of them. The most popular game on Twitch, all around, in hours watched, was Grand Theft Auto 5. Remember the game that came out 10 years ago, the little indie hit?
Yeah, 2 generations ago.
Still going. I probably would attribute some of it to, well, GTA is always fucking popular. I think the GTA RP stuff kind of took off this year, where people were playing GTA Online, but like, you didn't run around killing people. Like, you're like, oh, I'm a fucking chef or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
And then, of course, we had the Dr. Dre stuff come at the very end of the year. So that was, but I'm guessing the RP was probably a big part of it. GTA 5 had a total of 2.1 billion hours watched in 2021. That's 1.3 billion more hours than last year, which only reached 764 million. So a lot of it's 1.3 billion hours more. People were watching video games more this year than last year when there was a lockdown.
Whoa.
It's kind of crazy.
Was GTA 5 also, you might not know this, was it also the highest one last year?
No, it was not.
Okay.
I believe I don't have this in here, but I believe in the story. I think it was like up there, but I don't think it was I think number 1 was like Dota 2 or some shit like that.
Gotcha.
Overall, GTA 5 was the second most watched category on all of Twitch, following the top category, just chatting, which everyone knows it's like podcast and fucking people. Do you do that for like card openings and shit? When people open like Pokemon cards, just chatting?
I've never. Here's the thing. I only watch Twitch to watch like press conferences, like E3,
GoldenEye and press conferences,
and GoldenEye. Yeah, and get this, the most exciting thing of all. Sometimes Dallas will point a phone camera at his 3D printer while it prints for 15 hours, and I'll watch that.
You did watch that. We watched that. We both watched that together. Yeah, that's right. All right. So, okay, here we go. And second place this year was last year's number 1, which was League of Legends. My bad, not Dota. League of Legends with 1.8 billion hours, up from last year's 1.4. So everyone's getting more time.
Yeah.
Then they were followed in order. So it's Grand Theft Auto 5, League of Legends, Fortnite, Valorant, Minecraft, Call of Duty Warzone, Counter-Strike, Apex Legends, and Dota 2. So that's your top games. And again, the hours are fucking jacked up.
I totally forgot Valorant's a thing. I love that. It's getting so much attention.
It gets all the love. Yeah, it's number 4 on that list overall. Number 5 after just chatting when girls was that the whole bikini hot tub thing?
Yeah.
Probably in just chatting.
Yep.
Just chatting, maybe. Make your money, girl. Oh, I'm proud for you. The most popular brand new game was New World, which was the Amazon MMO, which had 259 million hours and was the 18th most watched Twitch. So that is the most popular new game, which is, it's crazy when you think about Twitch, because it's definitely the mainstays. Like there'll be like a little bit of an uptick, like Returnal comes out. It's like, oh, there's people playing this, or Resident Evil. But the fact that New World was number 18 was the number 1 new game. Like those new games, like you've got to establish yourself before Twitch people give a fuck. Like, I mean, basically be multiplayer and nobody cares is also the other thing.
I guess that's why that's why streamers like they keep going back to those same like mainstays, because that's what people watch. That's what people want to see.
That's what you want.
GTA 5, they want to see Valorant, they want to see Fortnite, and then so like it takes a company saying, "Hey, we'll pay you a ton of money to please, dear God, play our game," because it's a big sacrifice, a big risk to say, "All right, I'm going to play something other than what people want."
Yeah, run me, $50,000 and I'll play your game for one day and then I'm done. And that's more eyes than you're going to get on the rest of the year. So fucking give me my money, or however much they take. So in total, Twitch also boosted its overall hours watched this year, rising 45% from 17 billion last year to 24 billion hours watched this year. Facebook gaming saw similar growth, also rising 47% from 3.6 billion to 5.3 billion this year. I forgot Facebook gaming was a thing.
Yeah, me too.
I know like one person.
Oh yeah, I guess people do that.
I know one person who streams there, and it's like, okay, dude, I guess have fun. So that's the numbers. Streaming is up. People are into it. And again, it's weird because people were allowed to go outside this year compared to last year, but they're like, no, I want to watch more video games.
Yeah, well, they got a taste last year, and they're just like, I like this staying inside thing. I think I'll do that a lot more next year. They
got addicted to fucking sitting inside and watching streaming.
Yep.
They were like, I was forced, but now I want to.
Yeah, I'm going to do it because I want to, not because you told me to.
Exactly. So that's all the news stories, but that's not it.
What?
Oh, no. There's one more thing. Chad, tell everybody what we're doing.
Ooh, child. We're going to do predictions. It's about this time of year where we do predictions of what we think is going to happen in 2022 in gaming. We do it every year. We think about what's going to happen in 2022. We talked about it last year. We talked about it 30 years ago. 2022 is a big year in games. So we each brought 3. Adam brought 17,000 predictions. I brought 3.
Extras just in case.
But I real quickly found my predictions from last year, and I've subsequently lost them. There we go, 2021 predictions. I just wanted to check in on, I did 5 last year. I wanted to check in on how well I did last year looking at 2021, and then we'll talk about both of our lists for this year. So my first prediction last year was a new Nintendo Switch variant will be announced after March 31st. Boom!
When did it get announced?
Switch OLED?
Was it in the summer?
I think it was in the summer.
I feel like it was summer.
I'm pretty sure it was in the summer.
You were good regardless. Why did you choose March 31st?
Because
as your date afterwards?
The Mario stuff was exclusive. Like you could no longer get it as of March 31st. Like it goes into the vault forever.
So you're like,
hey, everyone buy a Switch right now because Mario's only here till March 31st. And then after all those suckers bought Switches, like, hey, here's the new good.
Here's a new one. Makes sense. I mean, that's a Nintendo ass move. So that's a good bet.
Nintendo Switch OLED. It went on sale in October. So yeah, it had to be this summer. So
yeah,
boom.
Summer, yeah.
I fucking suck it, future. Got 1 point. E3 will be back this year as a digital experience with most major players involved again, including Sony and Microsoft. Did not get that.
Yeah, Sony was like, we're doing State of Play 2 days before. It's like, I guess that doesn't count.
Third one was Marvel's Avengers will go free to play with unlockable characters being microtransactions or in-game currency, but free for anyone who's already purchased the game. They should have done that, but they didn't.
I've heard rumors about something in that game.
Ooh. Oh,
She-Hulk,
there was a
apparently.
character, right?
Yeah, She-Hulk.
Shulk. Fourth one was Amazon will include Luna as part of Amazon Prime, and Xbox will answer by partnering with another major video streaming service as part of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Neither of those things happen, and Luna has disappeared from the planet. It's still a thing. Just no one ever talks about it.
Yeah, nobody. Unless you're paid to.
My last prediction was Epic will lose its case against Apple. Which, of all of the things in that case, Apple lost on one thing, and that thing even got delayed like 2 weeks ago, and Epic lost everything else. So I'm going to mark that as a win. A win for me, a loss for Epic.
Because the thing you were talking about was the thing that they lost, right? The thing were you referencing the whole court case or the one thing that we cared about?
I was going to reference, like, as a whole, Epic loses the court case.
Gotcha.
And then the one thing that they won was like, hey, you have to include third-party payments, or like the one thing that they won is that, like, hey, Apple and Google Play, you now have to include a link out to third-party payment services in your apps so people can bypass in-app purchases. And then like 2 weeks ago, like that got delayed by like 6 months at least. So
yeah, I mean, that should be in arbitration for fucking years.
Yeah.
And then like in 2028, you can finally click out and buy stuff out of a different app. It's like, all right, awesome.
So that was the predictions from last year. I got 2 out of 5. Not bad.
What was your Halo one from? Your Halo TV show one?
That was from years ago.
It was a long time
years ago. And
you said at the end of 2021.
Yeah, and so I think it was like, as bullish as I am on on Uncharted not actually being real, and they just like took a bunch of photos somewhere and they're pretending the movie exists. I was that way about the Halo TV series because it was, again, in production hell forever and transferring between all these different things. And so I said, it's not real. And to prove it to you, let's pick a date in the future. By the end of 2021, if it still doesn't exist, if it's not real, if we can't watch it, then it doesn't exist. And that date came and went. And we don't have a Halo TV series to watch. We have a commercial for something that looks like it could be a Halo TV series. That's what they want us to believe. Still probably not real, though.
Technicalities. I got you. All right. So you can see my list of 7 things. I can see your list of 3.
I mean, I can if I click over to it. Should I look at it?
Well, this is what I'm going to add. You already have 3 things in mind, right?
Yes.
So look at my list and go ahead and bolden the stuff if it's the same, and then I'll pick from the list of remaining. Just for me. The audience won't know this. Okay. It's a big secret.
Okay. I'm going to bold this one because I have that one.
Okay, understandable.
Nice. Very funny. Very funny. You'll have to buy me a Steam Deck. I think that's it. I think that's all we have. One?
Okay, cool. I will pick 3 from the remaining, and then you go ahead with your 3.
Okay.
So you go first.
Oh, you want me? Sorry. Okay, I'll go first.
Oh yeah, you're good.
I'll start with the shortest and go and end with the longest. The shortest. A Microsoft first-party game will win Game of the Year next year at the Game Awards.
Ooh.
Yep.
Interesting.
Microsoft's going to hit big this year, I think, with his exclusives. We're finally going to see all these studios start churning out some good butter. And it's going to have one that wins Game of the Year.
That butter.
Yeah. I mean, that good butter. They've got Starfield coming out. They've got Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice maybe coming out. They've got some good
Redfall
shit.
Looks good.
Yep.
I'm very interested. Here's my thing. I think that's an interesting one, but I'm not going to push back at your prediction. Remember that weird ass cutoff date for Game Awards. So like Starfield November, could literally come out like a day before, and they're like, oh well, not enough time. Sorry, but hopefully that one will go out early, and reviewers will get that or whatever. But I like it's a ballsy prediction. All right, so me next, huh? Man, these are so good. I will say, I'll go ahead with my big one up here. 2 big console exclusives won't make 2022. And if you want to be more specific, because that's more fun, I will name 2 specific games. I did console exclusives. So I was going to say 2 big games won't make it.
Well, we can keep it as 2 big games won't make it. That's your prediction. And then, like, if you want to throw out 2 names for fun. I want to do console exclusive because
it makes it harder.
Okay.
Because I was just going to say one of the Gotham's game doesn't make it because I think that Gotham or Suicide Squad. Yeah. But 2 big console exclusives won't make it. My bet is Breath of the Wild 2 and God of War Ragnarok. Do not make it in 2022. God of War,
you think it's going to push another year? Because that was supposed to be 2021.
I know. Dang. But the minute they said 2021, I was like, that's not going to happen. And again, I don't want it to happen. I would like that game to come out now. But I feel like that one could be like, oh, we weren't quite ready February 2023. Like, it won't be like a whole nother year, but I think it'll be just enough out of 2022 to not be considered 2022. I can be just there. I could have also chosen Starfield, but I feel like, I don't know. I just want to stick with a Nintendo one. I only chose 2. If I would have said 3, but I don't think 3 will. But I'm going to say God of War and the sequel to Breath of the Wild. Do you have 2 that you think won't make it?
Oh, I so many, all the games, every games.
That's how it feels, right? It feels like a safe bet.
I mean, we just got news.
Say Elden Ring.
What was it? Final Fantasy 16 got delayed half a year or something like that.
Half a year
because
of COVID.
They just released that. So. Yeah. I guess if I had to pick 2 that we know about, Starfield and
Bayonetta 3.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot Bayonetta 3 even still exists and that was talked about. Yeah.
Doesn't have a date. All right, we'll just see if that happens.
All right.
I don't want any of this to happen. Believe me, if they could all be out fucking tomorrow, I'd be happy. But that's not how shit works.
Well, let me play some of these regrets that I have first, and then they can come out.
Then we'll go to it. Yeah. All right. What do you got?
Number 2. We won't see any new Nintendo console hardware or revisions this year. That means like new hardware, like we won't see an N64 Classic. We won't see like any Nintendo new console hardware. We definitely won't see a Switch 2. We won't see a Switch Pro. We won't even see like an updated model with better battery life or a better processor or anything like that. We're going to have the Switch Lite, the Switch, and the Switch OLED the entire year.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I also had this as one of my potentials. The only thing I see, maybe they're like, we did change the battery on this, but I don't think it would be a new thing. And you're saying not even that, which again, I don't necessarily disagree
with. Here's the thing. They're selling like crazy.
Back.
They're selling like crazy. It doesn't matter that they're not as powerful as everything else because they're now like anything that needs that power is being a cloud gaming version. And we're still like balls deep in the chip shortage right now, and it's impossible to get any kind of technology. So there's no need to put out new hardware that no one else can get yet.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm with you on that one. Yeah, I absolutely agree. My number 2, God, see, there's fun ones in here, and then there's silly ones. I'm gonna go with the fun. I'm gonna go with the fun one. Another indie darling from Devolver Digital will make people's year-end Game of the Year list. I just think that publisher's gonna keep putting fucking bangers out.
Yep.
And just like this year, people were like, fucking Inscription's fucking great, Death's Door is fucking great. I think Devolver Digital is gonna keep going, and they're gonna have a lot of people's lists are like, oh yeah, that Devolver game is like top of my list. So
did I misreading this one or the one right below that? Did you just add that?
That's gonna be my last one.
I fucking love it. I missed that the first time reading through them. All right. Here's my final prediction for the year. We're gonna get 3 new big gaming related VR focused headsets announced this year. They might not come out this year, but they're going to be announced this year. We're going to get the PSVR 2. We're going to get the Quest 3. And we're going to get another big player having a wireless option. That might be HTC or Valve or somebody releasing a Quest competitor, basically. Someone having a fully wireless option. I think PSVR 2 I think we know it's still going to be wired. But I think it's going to be a single cable. It's not going to need a breakout box. It's not going to need a camera. It's going to have in-headset tracking. Quest 3 is going to be wireless, and then, whatever the other one is going to be. And I think PSVR 2 is going to be fucking incredible. That's it.
Interesting. That would be interesting to see them everyone double down on VR. Because, like, Quest is very popular. PSVR sold super great. People couldn't get their fucking hands on an Index when Alex came out because like they couldn't make enough. So
Quest 2 was also like one of the most popular pieces of tech this holiday season. Probably because you couldn't get your hands on a console. So like, I can't buy an Xbox, I can't buy a PlayStation, might as well get a Quest. But yeah, it was incredibly popular.
Yeah.
But it's still like the Quest 2, I'm in this sticky spot. I was talking to Matt because Matt got a Quest 2 last week as well. And like Facebook is gross and I hate supporting Facebook, and that's like the main reason why I haven't got it already. But also Quest 2 from a visual perspective is still like subpar to PSVR, which is a PS4 generation thing. So like it doesn't, like Beat Saber is not as detailed, it doesn't look as good, it doesn't have the same effects.
But it is wireless. That is the thing though.
Exactly. It's completely wireless, and that's the allure of it. So like part of me is like I especially after the pain of dragging out and connecting all the cables in the world and plugging myself into the Matrix, like that was enough to almost make me get a Quest 2 this week. And but this prediction, I'm just like, I think we're so close to just getting whatever the next generations of VR from these companies is that I don't want to.
Like you said, just announced, not even released, which I think is a smart move because like you can just talk about it and that's all you need. So very interesting. So I've got a couple. So I'm going to do my last real one. I'm going to name off these other ones because I think I had a fun time doing these. So everyone, imagine this. Probably E3, maybe before, maybe after. Fade up from black. There's a big castle in the distance. You notice, hey, those visuals seem to be 60 frames a second.
Oh my God, so many frames.
And then we get Bloodborne. Bloodborne on PC, PS5, fade up from black, 60 frames a second. We get Bloodborne that doesn't run like shit because it's a fantastic game that just runs like booty water. So we're finally going to get that awful booby water. We're getting, again, God of War, Uncharted, fucking everything. All the big ones from PlayStation are coming to PC and getting PS5 upgrades. We're going to get it for Bloodborne. That's going to be this year. And again, I swear to God, if the actual trailer is fade up from black and we notice that the frames are higher and it's actually Bloodborne, I'll stand on my chair and do a fucking backflip. I don't care. I think we're going to get that Bloodborne patch this year, please, and thank you.
It's like the only thing on that PlayStation Plus collection that doesn't actually have even a PS4 Pro patch. Like everything else on that thing has some kind of next gen upgrade.
Yes. All right. So now I've got some silly ones just because I wanted to have fun. And Chad's like, hey, we're going to do 3 apiece. I'm like, all right. And I was like, well, fuck, I don't want to copy. So I just did 7 just to be safe. Baldur's Gate, again, these don't matter. Baldur's Gate 3 goes 1.0, so full release. considered in people's Game of the Year list. Because again, Larian, great games. It'll be awesome, and I'll be happy to play Baldur's Gate 3. Somebody at some point in the year will post a picture of all 3 consoles available at the same time in the wild. So some dude goes into Walmart and the caption is "Holy shit!" and there's a Switch, an Xbox Series X, and a PS5 all in fucking stores. It can be one of each. It doesn't have to be a bunch. Somebody will find it eventually, because I'll randomly get on Twitter and it's like, "Holy fuck, I saw one in the wild," and it's like a PS5. And it's like, fucking wow, we're gonna see all 3 in one picture.
I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right.
Yeah, again, chip shortage is still a thing, but maybe it'll get a little bit better near the end of the year. And then my last funny one is that Chad will finally become a big fan of the actual best place to play video games. Now, you made a joke about Steam Deck. Who said it was PC?
I don't know. Steam Deck can have a lot of different operating systems on it. It might not be PC. Maybe I'll download an emulator for Sega Genesis.
Yeah, I just want you to be the fan of the actual best place to play games. You know, you're a PlayStation guy normally, a little bit of Switch, but no, I was talking about a PC. You get you a PC at some point, but that was the silly one because it is the best place to play video games. But that's it. My actual serious ones.
If you get a PC and you put it in a case that looks like a PlayStation 5, and you pair a DualSense with it, and you make the OS look like PlayStation 5, and then you make it play PlayStation games, I'll eat that shit up, and you get trophies.
Wouldn't you rather just have a better OS though? Because the PlayStation OS is not my favorite. You know,
yeah, but I don't need like Clippy. I don't need Clippy telling me what games to play.
Clippy hasn't been a thing for 20 years.
Well, you're not doing it right.
They killed him. They killed him a very long time ago. But yeah, those are our actual predictions. You know, you heard them. I had some joke ones, but that's it. That's the show. Well,
Boom.
Most of the show.
Wait. We've got one more thing. It's called Game On Game Show. The game on our game show, we play a game called Game On, a game show on a game show. Game. Adam. Nice.
Yes.
Fits very well because our game this year is called GOTY's Gone Wild.
Ooh.
We don't want wild GOTYs. We want GOTY's Gone Wild.
These young college girls. Warning.
I wonder if that's still is that still on later? No, kids don't watch.
I think that guy got in real big trouble. The guy who did that, I think he got in real big legal trouble.
I've got 20 games here that all won Game of the Year at GDC. We've talked about Game Awards all the time, and we never look at GDC Game Awards. So these are Game of the Years according to GDC, the Game Developers Conference, which happens usually in March each year. Now, here's the twist on it. I'm not just going to read you the game and you reminisce on it. I'm going to make it wild. I run each of these games' names through a thesaurus. And so some of them I had to take some liberties with because they have very recognizable or proprietary names. So I had to get creative. But I took all of these things, ran them through a thesaurus. I'm just going to read it and just see if you can guess what it is.
Okay.
Oh, no. Hold on.
Did something happen?
It's not updated on my Mac. I made it to my iPad. GOTY's Gone Wild. Oh no. Okay, so I don't have all 20. We're gonna do. Okay. There are some here that are blank. But we'll do 15 of them because that's all that updated.
Yeah, just give me what you got. No big deal.
We're gonna start all the way back in the year 2000. Thinking about 2000, what came out? Game of the year. The thesaurus, the Gone Wild name. That's what we're gonna call it. The Gone Wild name is Replicas. I can give you some hints as you start to get stumped.
Yeah, because I'm stumped already. Which would be
Replicas.
And this is a Game of the Year. So I don't fucking know. Give me an idea.
This is a game that is popular more so with casual gamers than hardcore gamers.
It's not clones. That doesn't fucking make sense. Twins. No, I don't know.
Clones was a word that came up in the thesaurus, but I chose replicas instead of clones.
Yeah, I just can't think of what would be replicas. And 2000 is because I was 10 years old. You know, it's what's tripping me up.
2000 is 20 years old.
Yeah, it's when Harry Potter came out. Apparently.
This one I'll give you one more hint. The iconic image from this is a green emerald thingy over top of a person's head.
Sims?
Yes, this is Sims. The Sims.
Sims is replicants, huh?
Replicas.
I mean, I guess you're
Replicas,
replicating real life.
Yeah, and thesaurus. This is just
Yeah,
this is
thesaurus.
what affected me.
Thesaurus, it's weird.
Thesaurus. This one's going to be a little bit easier for you, I think. 2001. This Gone Wild game title is Ambitious Extortion Wheels 3.
Ambitious Extortion Wheels. Oh yeah, GTA 3. That's wow, Extortion Wheels. God, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Ambitious Extortion is just. I'm gonna name like an album after that.
Yeah, Ambitious Extortion. You're gonna have an ape NFT as the cover album art.
Oh yeah, worth so much money.
2002. This is one of the ones that got, I guess, deleted between my phone and the computer, but it doesn't matter because I remember this one because it was so good. You probably won't get it though. 2002. The Best Extraterrestrial.
The Best Extraterrestrial.
The Best Extraterrestrial.
I just want to say like The Good Alien, but that doesn't even make any sense.
No.
Yeah, give it to me. What is it?
I'll give you a hint. Came out on GameCube.
Okay.
Nintendo GameCube.
Uh-huh.
Female protagonist.
Yeah.
First party Nintendo.
Uh-huh. It's all blanks, dude. Like what I'm thinking of Beyond Good and Evil, but that's not it. What the fuck is this?
This one is Metroid Prime.
If it's something Metroid, but that doesn't make any sense.
It's Metroid Prime. Prime being like the best or the like pinnacle of it. And Metroid, that's one that I had to make up.
I guess the Metroids are aliens.
Yeah. So
because I'm like, Samus isn't an alien. But yeah, you're making sense. Okay.
All right.
Metroid shouldn't be the thesaurus. Is what I'm saying.
Exactly. 2003. I think you'll get this one just because of the cadence of the words, but it's also fun. Luminary Struggle, Horsemen of the Decrepit Commonwealth.
Fucking excuse me? Horsemen of the Decrepit Commonwealth.
Luminary Struggle, Horsemen of the Decrepit Commonwealth.
I'm real bad at this game. So I'm thinking of like the Four Horsemen kind of a thing. But I don't... Horsemen of the Decrepit Commonwealth is really fucking me up.
Think about...
It's like Cavaliers.
Think about horsemen. Like what piece is a horse on a chessboard? Think about that.
Knights. Okay.
Okay.
Knights of the Commonwealth. So is it Knights of the Old Republic?
Yep. Luminary Struggle, Horsemen of the Decrepit Commonwealth is Star Wars.
Luminary
Knights
Struggle.
of the Old Republic.
Luminary Struggle. God. Horsemen of the Decrepit Commonwealth. Man. Yeah, no, that makes sense. The Luminary Struggle is what threw me off.
Yep. All right, 2004. Fraction Growth 2.
Fraction Growth. It's like broken something, right? Broken Big 2. Breaking Big 2.
Tom Hanks falls down and breaks his ankle.
Maybe give me a clue for this one as well. I need clues a lot.
Yeah, this one it is like one of the most popular games of all time. You were required to download a proprietary game launcher on your PC to play it. And it is now the #1 place where people buy PC video games.
Is it Half-Life 2?
It is Half-Life 2. Fraction Growth 2.
What was that again?
Fraction Growth 2.
Fraction. So, I guess. Yes.
Yep.
I suppose.
Thesauruses, man. They're not
Thesaurus
perfect.
is real weird, man.
Yeah. 2005. Gloom of the Hercules.
What the Hercules? Fucking. I was gonna say God of War, but that would be backwards. Gloom of the Hercules. Any hints?
Yep, this is a PlayStation 2 game. Not first party, but exclusive to PlayStation.
Gloom of the Hercules, and it's not God of War or anything. Heavenly Sword that'd have been way later. I don't know.
It is a game by Team Eco.
Okay, so Shadow of the Colossus.
Yep.
Colossus.
Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus.
It is Shadow of the Colossus. Gloom of the Hercules is Shadow of the Colossus.
The Hercules is what tripped me up.
Yeah. And there were some other ones. There was like Titans and Giants and things, but those are going to be too easy.
Giants I would have got immediately if you would have said Gloom of the Giants. I'm like, oh yeah, Shadow of the Colossus for sure. Yeah, Hercules fucked me up.
2006. Tools of Battle.
Tools of Battle in 2006, huh? Fucking something of Tools of Battle is what's getting me. Swords of War. I'm just naming mobile games at this point. It's like the most generic fucking anything you can give me.
Yep, this was a first-party Microsoft game on the Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Gears of War.
Yes, Gears of War. Yep.
Okay.
All right, 2007. Gate.
In 2007.
Yep.
So that was a big year. It was a really big year. All the good stuff came out. But
and
Gate.
so did this game. Gate. The Gone Wild name is Gate.
Gate. So what's something like a gate? A fence? A lock? Not a Halo, because you would have said Gate 3 if you were talking about Halo 3. I don't even know if that was 2007. God, 2007 was a big year. Orange Box, fucking anything you give me here? I mean, you said Orange Box. Portal?
Yes, Portal is the game.
Portal. See, I would assume that Orange Box would have won that whole award, not just Portal itself.
GDC, man, they're
but
weird.
I like that. Yeah.
2008.
Yeah.
After Effect 3.
After Effect. Well, someone was editing a video. 2008 After Effect. You're gonna have to give me clues for most of these, bro. I'm not good at this.
This one is an open world game. Real Brown.
Yep. You're naming the early 2000s.
It's got a janky combat system that's improved by kind of freezing time a little bit and being precise.
Well, you said After Effect 3?
After Effect 3, yes.
I want to say Fallout 3.
Yes, it is Fallout 3, yes.
Oh, After Effect is one word.
Yes, sorry. One word After Effect, yes.
Because I was thinking literally like After Effects. It's like, oh, these are... Okay, After Effect 3. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I would have... Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, very brown.
We've
very
got
brown and gray.
5 more on here. And the other ones are currently on my phone. There's 7 more that didn't show up on my Mac, but they're on my phone. That's currently being used as my camera.
Which is your camera.
Maybe we'll just save them for like next time and use them.
Yeah. I still won't get them, so it's fine.
All right, 5 more. 2009. Hidden 2 Betwixt Burglars.
You fucking stop. Hidden 2 Betwixt Burglars.
Yeah.
Hidden 2. So I'm going to say hidden. So like stealth or not Splinter Cell 2. That doesn't make any sense. That also won't win that award. Any clues? Hidden 2 Betwixt Burglars.
PlayStation 3 exclusive game.
Hidden 2. Uncharted 2 Among Thieves?
Yes. Betwixt Burglars.
Uncharted and Hidden. I did the Betwixt Burglars was like, that's something about thieves, but I was like, that first word. Okay. Uncharted. That was what, 2009? You said?
2009, yep.
When did the first Uncharted come out? 2006, 2007?
2007, I think it was.
Oh, okay. That was a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah, because it came out on the console, and the console came out in 2007.
Betwixt Burglars.
2010. Maroon Lifeless Atonement.
So I want to say red is the first word. What was it? Lifeless?
Maroon Lifeless Atonement.
Red. Can you give me some clues? I know red's the first word.
Yes. It is a game. I don't want to give it away too easily. A lot of people like it, and I don't.
That doesn't.
Very popular game.
Red Dead Redemption.
Yes, Red Dead Redemption. Yes.
Ah, that's right. For some reason, you don't have good taste. That's right. Here's the thing about that game, because I know you didn't like 2 a lot, which 2 is one of my favorite games ever made. Best game of that year, actually. But I am a 10-year-old boy in the fact that I love pirates and I love cowboys. So anything with pirates and cowboys, I'm like, fucking let's go. And it just happens to be made by Rockstar. So it's like, oh, an actual good game with cowboys. If Rockstar made a fucking pirate game, I don't know what I would do with myself.
Yeah, cowboys just don't do it for me. I'm just not a cowboy fan.
I love cowboys.
They're just stinky, sweaty people who ride horses and shoot people for no reason.
Yeah, and they shoot people with 6 shooters.
But pirates,
it's great.
They do it for me. But they are also just stupid,
they're
sweaty,
also just stinky, weird
men
dudes
who kill people for no reason. I don't know. Maybe
they're
it's the fact
person.
they're on a boat and on a horse.
Yeah, that's
I
what
just
it
hate
is.
horse butts. All right, 3 more. We have to skip 2011 because that's one of the blank ones. 2012. This one's going to be very hard. Adventure.
Uh-huh. Can you give me a clue?
Yes, this is an indie game, and it was notable that it won Game of the Year because of
Journey.
an indie game. Yes.
Boom. I remember that. That was a GDC. I remember, didn't like IGN give that their Game of the Year as well? That was a big thing. There was like
that
fucking
the
what?
Game of the
Indie games?
Yeah. As if GDC is not the actual Game of the Year. Come on. All right, 2013. 2 more to go. 2013. The finale of Everyone on Our Side.
The Last of Us?
Yes, it is The Last of Us. There is nothing.
The finale of Everyone
Put
on
the
Our
word
Side.
us into the thesaurus, and it's like, there is no other word for us. Sometimes people use we.
Them, that, there's like a bunch of small words. Yeah.
Yep.
The finale. The finale is the one that got me like, oh, last. Like, yeah, fucking Last of Us. Let's go.
All right, last one for us for today. 2014. This one might be a little tough. Average Gaia, Gloomy Mountain.
So it's something Earth. Well, you said Average Gaia?
Yep, Average Gaia, Gloomy Mountain.
So,
this is the one I had to get a little creative with as well.
Something Earth. You're going to have to give me a clue for this one.
Sure.
I would say After Earth, but I know that's wrong.
You like this game a lot.
That doesn't help me. I like everything. Average Gaia. You gotta give me something else. I know you're probably going to spoil it, but I'm not smart at this point.
Mountain is the word that I had to get creative with because it was a proprietary like name of something.
Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
You say I like it, but I can't think of it.
It is a licensed. It's based on a licensed IP.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's very old books.
Which mountain?
No.
It's featuring The Rock.
It has many little people races in it. It has magical wizard races in it. It has orc people.
I would say Lord of the Rings, but that doesn't make sense. That's a video. What video game though? Lord of the Rings, Battle for Middle Earth.
You're kind of there.
Or
almost.
Is it Return of the King?
No.
Battle for Middle Earth 2.
It's in that world. It is not specifically Lord of the Rings.
Okay. Something Mount. I'm gonna give you this one because I have.
All right, this is Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor.
What year is this?
2014.
God, I can't believe it's been that long. That game doesn't feel like it came out almost 10 fucking years ago.
What we got?
Middle Earth.
Oh yeah, it's 8 years ago now.
The second one came out later, of course.
But yeah. Average Gaia, Gloomy Mountain.
That was Average Gaia, Gloomy Mountain. I mean, yeah, that was a launch for Xbox One, PS4. Like that was like the first year, like that won a bunch of awards. Yeah, because remember the last gen version, they're like, we don't have Nemesis system. Like, why the fuck would you play this video game on the last gen system? Interesting, good game. I'm not good at word puzzles.
That was fun. We'll reveal the other ones of those next time after I can get them off my phone. That's it, everyone, for episode 239 of Respawn Aim Fire. If you were surprised by our Game of the Year, whoa, what? Who knew that was going to be it? Let us know. If you have other things that you thought were going to be Game of the Year that you liked that we didn't mention at all and you're pissed about, take a moment to think about it, breathe, and then maybe post a Twitter comment as well. Reach out to us on Twitter at Respawn Aim Fire. You also have homework like you do every single week. Go to patreon.com/RespawnAimFire. If you are a patron, which you can do for $1 a month, you can go and vote right now, for our barf game for January. That's the backlog accomplishment with Respawn and Friends game, where we have you all choose what game we're going to play from our backlogs, and we're all going to play it together. Us, you, the world. And then we'll chat about it at the end of the month. You can also get dope wallpapers, play with us on game nights when we have them, etc., etc., etc. It's a good lineup of barf games this time. We got Alien Isolation, we got Hyper Light Drifter, we got Ape Out,
Dark Souls,
and Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So go vote on that. That poll's going to be up until Friday, and then we're all going to start playing. Your other piece of homework is to, just do what makes you happy. If that's blasting yourself on the balcony of your New Louisiana Nolans home, fucking do it, as long as you're obeying all laws and no one can see you and there are no children nearby. If it means driving your car at the speed limit to a destination nearby in order to pick up a bunch of drugs. Do that too if that's what makes you happy, as long as you're safe and you're not harming others or yourself. Until next time, though, that's our show. So until next time, here's our usual sign off. Kadoodaloo-daloo. Kadoodaloo-daloo.